Good evening, folks. Good evening. It's been too long since I've sat in the hot seat, but we are once again back in Middenheim, in the world of Warhammer, where our protagonists are investigating some disappearances and trying to line up a few fights here and there. Speaking of which, we start with a scrap this evening, potentially.
Oh, good.
Can you guys give our venerable audience a brief rundown on where we got to?
Oh my god, it's a demon! Does that cover it?
You watched the end of last stream, and that was your takeaway. Oh my god, it's a demon.
Okay, so we were leaving the inn on our way to another inn for the illegal pit fights because the legal ones aren't currently running.
Officer.
I was an innocent bystander and knew nothing of anything.
Well, yeah, I can believe that.
Not to own a shovel. And as we were leaving the inn in the rain during a lightning storm, there, silhouetted in the lightning, was an animalistic bat-winged demon who I told to get out of the way.
Yes. It's great that you're concerned for its health and all, but really, I think I'm more concerned with the whole "it's a demon" element.
I believe it's a demon. Brunhilde still thinks the whole thing is fake, and that this is a bloke in a demon costume, probably being abused by either his employer or a nobleman. Because I bet you that his insurance doesn't cover this. He's not getting proper health benefits.
Are you saying that this poor guy is inside like 30 pounds of rubber with the fleece of 6 sheep over the top?
And I'll bet you they've also told him he can't have beard. I bet they've said, even though you're covered in demon costume, you're not allowed to have a beard. I bet you. They're bound to it.
I can believe it. Although I did mishear that as beer initially.
And you can guarantee as well that none of this will have been checked by anybody from Health and Safety.
Ouch. I see. We're on the lice in the costume problem, aren't we?
And you know, he's standing in rain there. I'll bet you that costume, whatever it's made of, I bet it just absorbs all the water. It won't give him any protection at all. He'll catch pneumonia, poor son.
Right. Much though I do admire your ethic for the working person.
I'm also seriously considering handcuffing my left hand to my chair to stop me from gesturing with a hand to a nail that hasn't got.
That's the whole phantom limb thing. What you need, actually, Fish, is you need to go actually use this as green screen, and you just need a green glove.
Green glove, yeah.
Green opera glove. up to the elbow, and then it doesn't matter if you gesticulate.
Oh man, I wish I had a green screen. I would so do that.
I need a green backdrop now. This is...
now what we need to do is get Fishy either a green screen he can just wrap his arm in, or get him a green opera glove so he can just chroma key his arm out.
I can do a
yes. Yeah.
The smart
camera.
My background, but it doesn't work particularly well.
No, it might work better at the moment.
Yeah, I can do that, and there we go.
It actually lops off the wrong arm.
It does lop off the wrong arm.
Cuts out chunks of meat. But it is technically a green screen, so you know I could, if I had the green, that would potentially work. I mean, at the moment that's just removing it, but I can replace it with green, or with the Fishy logo and green, because that's what that's done. That's actually got green behind the Fishy logo.
Okay.
Then using the green screen thing. So on that setting, if I had the opera glove, it would work.
It does look like you're being corroded by acid, though. So please, for the sake of my sanity,
go back to the blur instead.
Yeah, you need better lighting if you're going to do that.
Well, you could always do Fish.
I think I just need better distance between me and my background. Really.
Yes.
Ironically, the virtual green screen would probably work perfectly if I were in front of a green screen.
Or indeed any other screen of uniform colour.
True. And by the way, yes, the cravat works very well with that shirt.
Oh, good.
It does. It does.
Yes. You've naturally
I've got a
come
red
dressed.
one for when I'm playing Randall.
Yes.
It's not a bright enough red because I've got to be able to wear it when not playing Randall as well. And I wouldn't wear a bright one for that. But it's close enough that I can get away with it, I think.
Fair enough. Right, so
So
we have.
it's pouring down with rain. You've stepped out of the inn to go off to your illegal prize fight,
Let's have a fight. Go to Canterbury.
and you're facing a large humanoid-ish animalistic figure with bat wings and real sort of animal face, claws, and it's kind of growling at you. And the first thing it hears as it's looked at you is, what was it you said, Fish?
Get out it rain, you fillet. Hey, what else could she possibly have said? I mean, that's the obvious Brunhilde comment at this point.
Yes, for Brunhilde, that is indeed an obvious comment. You're concerned about its gold. Great.
Got the vicious animalistic monster coming at us. There it is.
Oh, bless him.
He's not very happy now. I've disturbed him.
If I thought about it, I could have brought dug up a prop to bring on for the event.
Have you got your animal mask?
I was. That's in the other room. I was going through my shed the other day trying to throw out a bunch of crap and threw out about 3 boxes of LARP kit, which included assorted masks.
Ah, now there's a charity shop that would get very confused.
Yeah.
Which is why it was thrown away and not actually given to charity. So, moving
Tail.
swiftly along, Erdit and Leonard haven't exited the tavern with you.
Right.
They've remained inside.
To be fair, that's probably quite sensible because it means I don't have to protect them.
Largely for anyone watching, the reason for that being that, as you can see off to the right of the screen, they are currently absent without dice. Wrong side, that side. Absent without dice.
Yes.
Kikiki is away in France at the moment, and Jik is genuinely absent. I'm not entirely sure where he's at. Otherwise indisposed.
Jigs in the wind. Somewhere. But yeah.
So
But we have 2
There's many
players.
places where you can genuinely consider, which is going to be worse. Middenheim in the range of a demon, or France in this case. But with France, he must have actually had to think about it.
And watching
Traditional
as.
Brits are supposed to be mean about the French, and the French are mean about the Brits. It's just the way it works. No. We've been killing each other for long enough that we're allowed to.
Okay.
Watches as anyone French in the chat just goes, yeah, fuck it, I'm out of here.
Poof, and they disappear.
Yes. Do not say into a cloud of garlic. Having just had garlic on my bread. Right. Okay. So, I'm carrying, of course, because I was ready for a fight.
Yes, you were.
I know I was going to be
But
given.
actually going, specifically looking for a fight.
I was going to have a fight, so I was going looking impressive because I knew I was going to have to borrow a sword because they want everybody using the standardised swords. Gods.
Pickiest
but-
one that you sword is 3 times the size of the other one.
I know, God. But this does mean I do have my 2-hand and my knife and my knuckle dusters.
Yep.
Although you did say at the last session, having rewatched it, that you specifically pointed out that you were not going to be using a 6-foot length of steel in a lightning storm.
There is that.
And
Don't
I did
think
There's a
specify.
conversation about the merits
Yes.
of wooden-handled flails and leather wraps with regard to insulation against lightning.
Yes. Have I got my flail with me as well?
So you
Did I
said
act?
you were going to be using your flail, so I'm guessing
Yeah.
that
Yes. Yeah, so my... Oh, God, my sword is still on my back, though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've watched The Witcher. You can draw it from a backscabbard. It's fine.
Drawing from the back scabbard actually not that difficult.
Putting
it
it
back
back
in
in.
the back scabbard requires 3 friends, a mounting block, and some magnets. I still want those magnetic jackets so you can just go clunk, clip your sword to the back.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that might turn up in, say, a Cyberpunk 2020 game.
Cyberpunk
Well,
Red. Yay.
they've already turned up in, say, IRL. So why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be on your spine though instead of in your jacket. Possibly.
Yeah,
so-
so mod to your cyber spine.
Yeah.
You have the rare earth minerals massage going on at the same time as you're conveniently carrying on your weaponry. Ching, 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 ching. Right.
Only one problem though, if you get drunk with a neodymium spine and then you fall over near some metal, you're never standing up again.
Why are you sat next to that dumpster? No reason, just pull.
It's cyberware. They'd use electromagnets.
Exactly, yes. Great, your battery goes flat. Clank, 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 clank. Nothing to do with me, officer. Oh, okay, it's going to be one of them. Right,
It's gonna be one of
okay,
those
so
nights.
I have got a flail, but my first action is definitely going to have to be ditching off my two-hander because I am not having the tallest thing in the fight in a lightning storm being the thing attached to my back.
Well, the monster was quite tall, if I remember rightly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it also probably isn't made of metal.
Just shy of about 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
But
Lenore
unlike
is not
the
that tall.
unlike the other large beings that you have encountered thus far, he is not built like a brick outhouse, or it is not built like a brick outhouse. It's sort of tall and gangly rather than tall and brick-like.
We've met 2 tall and brick-like people.
Yes.
Or we've met 1 and heard him dreadfully.
It's not like one of them.
Right, so whoever's hired to be inside the suit isn't one of that lot.
Yeah,
So
it's-
can
it's-
I assume that we are basically going into initiative order somewhere
We
around
are
this
indeed.
point?
Can I know your
Okay.
initiatives, please?
My initiative is kind of, sort of a little bit 62.
Kind of. You say that like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, because I'm a non-combat character and I've got an initiative that basically means I can run away before anyone else even knows I was there.
You can also hold your initiative and go later in the round if
Yeah.
you wish.
Yeah, which in this instance I will be doing because I'm waiting to see what it and Lenore do.
Yeah, my initiative is 45, which I
Okay.
did think was pretty good.
Halflings had a high initiative as a base and I took my free advance. No, I didn't. Advance.
my
It was, it was actually, I think I had the lightning reflexes
Oh,
thing.
hang on. Abilities. So do I.
So, Brunhilde was 62, you said, yes?
62.
Hang on. Does lightning reflexes
Yeah,
give a
lightning.
bonus?
Lightning reflexes, you should have a plus 10 to your.
Yeah, you should have.
So you should have a starter profile and a current profile.
I
Everything else
do.
has not been taken into account.
I just need to check that I didn't take that on my advanced scheme. Because
Well,
it is indeed marked as 45, which is 10 higher than my starting.
In Fantasy Ground, have you got another one that's different?
I've got 4 that are different, 5 that are different.
Yeah, you've got loads of skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check your PDF character sheet because that's my design and has a separate space for skill effects than
Yeah.
advanced
The
with
Fantasy Ground
manual.
ones doesn't separate out skill effects and progressions.
But
Point.
I've been playing Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay on and off since it came out.
And we're prepared for
That's
such an
no
occasion.
better.
Sorry, I thought I was ready for this evening.
That's quite alright.
Today we are ever ready for one of these streams. I think that'll probably be the last stream we ever do. Something will happen and we'll end this.
Oh, great. If you betrayed us, you betrayed me. Lenore, 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 where are you? Woofwhoop Lenore image. There we go.
Lenore with the image, yes, that would be the one.
Right, okay, I only took weapon speed.
So yeah, okay, weapon skill is your
Weapon skill, sorry.
yeah.
So yeah, the 10 comes
Another
off my...
4 comes from skills.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What's M?
Movement.
That's your fleet-footed, gives you +1 to movement.
Thank you. So it does. Right then.
So, first action is on Brunhilde, who is holding her action.
Yes, she is indeed.
Okie dokie.
Right. Let's
Oh,
just
I never like it when the GM does that.
let's given Brunhilde's response, there's a chance that there may be a certain amount of confusion on the part of the other party. Going, what did she just say?
Are we counting that as blather? Because I've got blather as a skill.
Oh my god! You actually have blather.
Roll it. Go for it.
I love blather.
Let me remind myself how blather. I mean, technically it's not blather because you have to keep talking for blather. But,
Yeah, how is that difficult for Brunhilde?
well, she didn't. She just said one thing.
Yeah.
So,
Just
it's
as a novelty.
not a bluff. It's an only attempt to confuse. Should make a test against fellowship. A successful test indicates that for this 10-second combat round, it's confused. Yeah. So I don't think this is really a blather as such, but nevertheless, I think a fellowship test to see how it reacts is not.
It's blathery. It's not blather, but it's blatherish.
That's how the roll does go. Okay, 14 is less than my 50 fellowship.
Don't do it.
So,
It will.
were I actually blathering, that would have basically, for all intents and purposes, stunned my target for this combat round, as they just stare, trying to work out whether I'm dangerously sane or not.
It triggers the wait. What now?
Given the situation, and this thing's just been illuminated by the lightning, it's pouring down with rain, it's got these really sort of hungry red eyes, and it's drooling, and you've gone and said, "Get out the rain, you pillock." That is sufficient to literally stop it in its tracks for a moment to work out what the heck just happened. Clearly, whoever's inside the suit is used to people running like hell rather than being so matter of fact.
I just had this vision of it looking for a puddle, going, is it switched on? Claws,
Wait,
yeah.
the
The fangs in? I get the contact right?
Did it's still in facade.
Did the illusory matrix fail in the rain?
Yes.
So, Lenore, you
Right.
appear to have a moment of opportunity here.
Oh, this is going to be a silly, silly thing. I am going to capitalise on my moment of opportunity by not taking the time to ditch off my sword. But I will start spinning my flail and walking slowly towards this figure.
She's going to take off.
I'm going for the whole theatrical, give them a show thing.
It's an attempt to intimidate.
I'm going to intimidate. Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're going to intimidate, are you?
Yes. I'm also going to take some cough caps.
So we've confused this demon, and now we're going to attempt to intimidate this demon.
Yes.
This demon is not having a good day.
This demon is not having a good day.
Well, what's the worst that could happen? You can make it angry, right?
Yeah, thanks.
It's a demon. I think angry is its default state. Get up in the morning, read the papers, angry.
Look, I don't really know a lot about Chaos Gods, right? I'm sure it's some agent of Narthal or Crom or one of them other, whoever they are. But really, it shouldn't be in rain like that.
What makes you think I know anything about Chaos Gods? I don't know anything about Chaos Gods.
I never said you. dead.
The Chaos Gods have all been defeated, haven't they? There are no chaos. There is no chaos anymore.
No, there's no such thing as Chaos Gods, and Daddy definitely wasn't a cultist.
There's certainly no such thing as mutants, because the Emperor said so. It's never been done.
Yeah, he wouldn't talk out both sides of his face at the same time.
He
Unless
probably
he had
could.
2 mouths.
Unless he was a mutant.
Report for termination, citizen. Right. Yes, I'm going to attempt to intimidate this thing then.
Remind me where the intimidate comes from, because I can't see an intimidate skill at the first.
Isn't?
I didn't think there was. Wenchkin, greetings. I need to drop you a DM later, Wenchkin, because I want to talk to you about wars, if you remember. If you remember wars.
I need to turn off.
Got to be a fellowship thing.
It just occurred to me I haven't gone into streamer mode because, of course, I haven't got OBS open.
It throws you when you do that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a list of standard tests on page 66, but there's no intimidate on that list. So I don't know if there is an intimidate skill.
I did look for an intimidate skill and couldn't find it. I'm wondering if they've renamed it something weird like Overawe or something. I know that's Deadlands, but...
Yeah.
Not an intimidate skill.
By the man mean as a battler.
Don't have intimidate. Just looking down the list, looking for anything that might translate as intimidate.
Yeah, I can't see anything spectacularly close.
There are fear checks, but that's the other way around. Let me see if there's any reference as to what triggers fear checks.
Fair enough.
Just certain characters suffer from psychological stress, which is so focused it causes them to lapse into a state of temporary paralysis. They are literally scared of it. Some creatures cause fear. Doesn't appear to be an existing mechanical system for intimidating.
No.
Hang on. Are you seriously telling me in a grim, dark, nasty setting, they've managed to not have the ability
Basically,
to intimidate
it
bugs?
seems like
You
it, yes.
don't interrogate. We could use the interrogation rules, I suppose, for a different effect. Because that's just making people into talking, isn't it?
Yeah. That would seem to do it.
How do I get this thing to not talk, but to run away?
I think this is part of what why looking at this. It all seems to be done the other way around. Interrogation tests are rolled by the person being interrogated to resist interrogation, rather than by the person being interrogated.
So this thing would be making a willpower check or a cool check?
It's just you decide whether or not
Yeah.
this is in any way intimidating, and if so, it would be making
A cool check.
In the case of interrogate, it would be willpower, but I think probably just cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
yes.
reasonable.
Certainly wouldn't say
Lenore.
it's going to run screaming if it fails its skill check, but it might hesitate.
Yes. That's what Strike Mighty blows for.
One of them's mad and the other one's scary.
Lenore
Okay.
is fairly damn scary.
Yes, Lenore is fairly damn scary. So, are you circling, are you approaching it, or just standing your ground?
I'm approaching it directly towards it. Because if nothing else, if it's looking at me, it's not looking at Brunhilde, who has a ranged weapon and the ability to move.
No, she doesn't.
Brunhilde only has one arm. Ranged weapons tend to be
Brunhilde's got
too
a
heavy.
sling.
No, Brunhilde is trained with a sling. Brunhilde
bought
is
one.
not actually. Oh, did I buy one last round?
You bought,
You bought one.
in the
You
market.
bought one in the market.
I know I went shopping.
I
Yes,
forgot about
actually
sling. Yes,
bought
you
a
did. You
sling,
bought one in the
right.
market.
I now have a
Well remembered drut.
Yes, you bought a sling, and of course you can just use the same hand to drop a stone into it.
Yeah.
Or you can spit it in there.
Yeah,
Handful of bullets in your gob.
all kinds of ways.
Yes.
However, while it's looking at me, it's not looking at Brunhilde things. Fail to take into account that Brunhilde is Brunhilde. So as you stalk towards it, waving your flail and attempting to intimidate it, Brunhilde will move slightly sideways rather perversely draw her mace
Uh-huh.
instead of penciling, and also attempt to intimidate it, saying, "Look, whoever's paid you to do this, trust me, they're not paying you enough. We're not falling for this whole fake demon nonsense. So your options here are either to run away and look like a pillock running through city dressed like that, or maybe we go back into dry and talk about who paid you and what's going on."
I could do with a warm-up.
It looks very briefly at Brunhilde, then at Lenore, and in a fairly deft move that would be very, very impressive for someone wearing a suit, it leaps, spreads its wings, and rakes at Lenore mid-flight. Do you have dodge blow, Lenore?
Do I see a use of the dodge blow skill?
Do I have dodge blow? Yes, I believe I have dodge blow. Thank God I have dodge blow.
Would you care to roll dodge blow?
How do I roll dodge blow?
That's a very good question.
Hang on a moment, and I will tell you.
I feel really out of place as the only person without a copy of the rulebook.
Dodge blow. To dodge successfully, the character must make a successful initiative test.
Oh crap.
Successful dodge means all damage from that blow is ignored. Only one dodge can be made per combat round. Okay? If you dodge a blow, they see coming.
Right, okay, well suddenly I'm really glad I'm wearing a male shirt. Just saying.
That's what I want to spend my 100 XPs on when I get with you teaching me to dodge blow.
Yeah, fingers crossed I live
I've got
long
a
enough.
62 initiative. You roll against initiative to dodge blows.
What was your initiative, Lenore?
45, I'm just rolling.
No, I was just updating the notepad I've got with the combat order.
Okay. Oh right, you're clicking there, am I? Right, fair enough. No. Okay, it won't let you roll off the character sheet, fair enough.
It
Should do.
does. However, it's a little awkward sometimes. Let me just check something.
But that's how you roll percentile.
That is how you roll percentile, yes.
On the main, you can double click on your current profile.
Oh!
But it gets a bit awkward when you try and roll on something that you've actually got a value in. On the empty ones that you haven't advanced, it rolls absolutely fine. It's a bit trickier when you have a value in it.
Yeah, mine's not rolling on any of them.
Okay.
Okay, now nor is mine. That's weird. It did when
not.
I rolled Fellowship earlier on. It's now not.
Yeah, it vanishes at a number of attacks.
You're correct. No, it comes
And
back.
then comes back at toughness.
Yeah, it's on some of them and not on others for some reason. It's presumably an error in the character sheet, which,
Yeah.
if I understood how to build character sheets, I would attempt to fix.
Yeah.
As
Sorry.
would I if I understood how
Be
to
in
do
the
it.
XML somewhere, but
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's standing.
So, yeah, with a 65 against
Yeah.
45.
I'm relying on my male shirt.
So this thing's screeched as it's come flying through you, scraped its claws across your mail shirt, but done no damage.
Right. I don't think it's anybody in a costume.
Booger!
Going to be strike mighty blow when it's next my go.
Which would be now.
Which would be
I
now.
was going to say, is that the end of round one?
Yep,
Because if so, it's me first.
it is.
I've got the highest initiative and I'm not holding my action this time. I'm running up and attempting to twat this thing with a mace.
It's flying.
It
Well,
literally just
breaking-
glided.
Low enough to hit you. Worst case, I'll jump.
It was almost like a wing-assisted jump rather.
Okay. Fair enough.
I could probably easily stay high enough that I can't reach it. I am, after all, only 4 feet tall. Am I 4 feet tall? I've got 4 feet on there. I don't think I am. I think I'm sort of shorter than that. Hang on, let me check the other character sheet. No, 4 feet tall I am.
Yeah, you are. You're tall for a halfling.
Yeah. So, I'm going to run up, and being tall for a halfling, I am going to attempt to smack it, and I'm going to fail.
Oh.
Because I only have a 23 weapon.
Oh. How does Strike Mighty Blow work, Fish?
Okay, Strike Mighty Blow is a bonus to your damage.
Right, okay.
I don't think it's something you have to deliberately specify. It's just that it's a permanent +1.
Okay, that's cool.
Just for having it.
It's handy Fish looking now because that means I can keep my rulebook on the stats page of what you're fighting.
That's cool by me.
Yep, characters with this skill modify the damage caused by a successful hit by +1.
Right then.
Did you say you had strike to injure last time?
I do.
That's worth remembering, because that means you can modify your hit location by ±10% on any given strike. Hit location in this game is normally done. Yes, Actaeon, we've met a demon.
Yeah, we
Actaeon,
thought
hey!
it was cosplayer.
Hit location is normally done by reversing your to hit roll. So had my 36 to hit roll hit, I would have hit location 53. With strike to injure, I could have had a choice of anything between 53 and 10.
Right, okay, so, and that just works. Okay, that's
And that
cool.
just okay.
Right. Pardon me. Oh, for goodness sake. This is why I haven't streamed all week. So, having a go at it with my flail. No, that's a
Much
two-handed
as I
sword.
want her to do damage to this thing, I half want her to miss, just so I have the excuse to say, stop flailing at it.
Unfortunately, I think she's got a fairly good. Oh,
Two. That
Really?
failed. I can. So Brunhilde will indeed utter rather disparagingly, stop flailing at it and do some damage.
Ouch. Actually, looking at it, I have a feeling, yeah, there's -10 to the weapon skill for using the flail. So my weapon skill was only 39 anyway, as opposed to 49. So I really failed.
Flail has a penalty to hit,
Yeah, I may have to swap back to it.
Clumsy. They do really good damage though.
they're a bugger to use though.
No, they do less damage. They do -1 damage.
No, they do +1 damage. You've got that written down wrong.
I haven't written it down at all, dear.
Okay, it's written down wrong then. If it came off the rule set, then it was put into the rule set wrong.
Yeah.
Should be -10 to hit, -10 to parry, and +1 to initiative.
Yeah, it's down as a -1 damage. Oh no, there's no initiative listed. It's just damage -1.
That parry modifier that it has, if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm just going to check that, is a penalty for other people trying to parry you.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is understandable given that it's lumps of metal on the end of a chain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very easy to get tangled.
Yes.
But I think we've established, however, that basically hitting things with a flail is a bad idea because it's really difficult.
There's probably some advantage to using the flail that is in the rules and I haven't found it.
Disarming?
Possibly.
They're difficult weapons to use, clumsy and dangerous, but very deadly indeed.
No, they get a bonus damage. That is one reason to use them.
Yeah.
But on this
They do the
occasion,
same.
you missed. Now, there's been a screech, there's been some clanking and noise.
How much thunder and lightning has there been?
Oh, plenty of thunder rolling around, and of course the sound of rain hitting the roofs. Consequently, no one yet appears to have stuck their head out the side to see what's going on.
Oh, good. Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Right, I dubbed this guy Galileo.
Which means we're back round to Brunhilde.
Just also, for your information, more than mine really, that any character can attempt to parry in this game. It is simply a roll against weapon skill.
Right.
But it uses your next attack.
Okay.
And it will stop a d6 points worth of damage.
That's worth doing.
So that -10 parry may well in fact be a modifier to you parrying with the flail. I thought there was a penalty to people trying to parry a flail, but I might be thinking of a different system.
That would basically mean that I was at -10 to every use of my weapon skill with a
You
flail.
are at -10 to every use of your weapon skill with a flail, yes.
So yeah, whether it's attacking or defending, then yeah. Basically, the flail's a bit pants.
+1 damage.
Yeah, +2 to a sword. My two-hander.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
two-hand.
but that's a two-hander.
You're getting +1 damage on a weapon that you could use with a shield.
There is that.
Yeah.
Right, Brunhilde.
So the creature, having made its raking attack and have you guys both missed, it's shifted position. It hasn't attacked again. Looks like it's trying to work out which one of you is the most dangerous.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Wrong hand.
And Brunhilde is up.
Wave your mace in the air.
So that's
Like you
back
just
Just
don't
don't
care.
care.
If we're back to Brunhilde, I will have another go at attempting to smack this thing.
Yep.
And miss again.
Okay.
Fantasy Grounds hates us for dice.
Dice, all dice in every form. We know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fishy is renowned for being the unluckiest dicer user ever. Chrono Magistrate, good evening.
Hey, Chrono.
Greetings,
Although
Chrono.
I think, to be honest, I can challenge Fishy's claim of being the unluckiest die roller ever. After that session of rolling, was it 27 d6 and not getting a single 6?
Yeah, okay, you did manage to roll phenomenally badly.
I didn't get as many ones, but I didn't get the necessary 6s.
So just to prove my point, next round I'm going to roll real dice to miss with.
Yeah.
So, Brunhilde has swung with her mace and missed.
Brunhilde has had enough of this demon's guff.
I've had enough of your guff. So, Brunhilde, having made yourself
Well, they
target
changed
number
accents
1,
mysteriously, and says that she has had enough of these demons on this city.
Lenore, yes, so Brunhilde's missed. Lenore has had enough of Fantasy Grounds and its dicey ways. And is
resorting
now
to the real
rolling
thing.
real dice.
Right, well, hang
because
fire a
she's
second
happy to be
because
here.
the creature is having its go.
Yeah.
And
Having a
having
go.
raked at you and missed, Brunhilde swung at it twice. It's decided at the moment that Brunhilde's the most dangerous. So that's getting a rake of the claws.
Right, okay.
You feel doesn't going to have to kill it professionally now. That's just embarrassing.
Right.
Which might leave
At
us...
what point, the rules say any character carrying a suitable weapon may attempt to parry against a damaging blow. Now,
Yep.
that logically means I don't have to decide to parry until after I know it's hit me.
It's hit you.
That's the way I read that.
Yep. Would
So
you
I
like to
rolled-
parry?
This is going to be next round's attack gone. I think I can do next round's attack. It just says lose your next attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're effectively making a weapon attack against their weapon rather than them.
Yeah.
It's,
You appear to
which
be
technically
making a
makes it a
weapon
block
attack.
rather than a parry, but...
You appear to be making a
38
parry. Would
against
you
my
like to-
23 weapon skill, so no, that didn't work either. I
Ooh.
successfully parried the air. I will not take damage from that gust of wind.
But what you will
However-
take a point of damage from is the claw that slaps you round the face.
Ow, as they say.
Did you just get bitch slapped by a demon?
Basically, yes.
Have,
Get out of there.
damage tracker on this character sheet.
Otherwise, it's notes.
Not seeing.
There should be one. See, I didn't build this, so I'm not entirely sure where everything is.
There's a psychology and health section on the character sheet. I will simply create an item in there and call it wounds.
Good call.
How much am I taking? Did you say?
Just the one.
I think this is the world's wimpiest. Where did it hit me? I've got a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Head. Hence across the face.
I don't have a leather jacket on my head.
No. No. So you've kind of got some scar marks across, some scratches across your cheek that may be leaking a little blood.
Ow.
Oh, going to end up mutating or something.
So, current wounds 3.
Not that mutants exist. We know mutants don't exist.
Begin with.
Right. Is it Lenore's go?
It is.
I do reserve the right, however, to laugh with glee every time the attack roll hits my left arm.
Is it not like in BattleTech? You know, if you've already lost that limb, it just blows
I
straight
do
through
not
to your
think
centre
it
torso.
transfers to the centre torso at all. No, I think it missed.
Yeah, lose your APC bay doors.
As far as I'm concerned, if I do roll your left arm, it's a miss.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it makes sense to me.
Because the
Gonna
left
be
arm
some
simply
benefit
isn't
for
there.
Having no arm.
Mostly armless. Well, 50%. Okay. Right. And yes, I am resorting to build ice. Fortunately, these guys trust me. Because I don't budge. As a player. I'm going to have another go with my flail. If
Okay.
I can't hit it with my flail, then I'm going to reconsider the sword.
Okay.
Hit me cross hits.
Let me borrow my mate.
Weapon skill is effectively 39. That's a 35.
That's a hit.
That's a
That's
hit.
a hit. That's a palpable hit.
Okay.
So +1 damage. And it does my strength damage otherwise, doesn't it?
It is a d6 plus strength plus the +1.
Okay, so d6 plus 6. It's possible she may be quite strong. 9.
Right. You swing. Roll location.
Well, it's going to be
53
which
plus
is
or
the
minus
best
10%. Yeah,
Wow.
with 10% wiggle room.
Unless I'm much mistaken. Unfortunately, I can't see it very clearly on this character sheet because I've got a black and white image behind the location table. There we go, yeah. Body. Plus 10% hits the body.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
The left arm,
so
body,
you
yeah.
swing with your flail to catch it firmly midriff with your 9 damage.
That works for me.
It reaches out with its hand and just grabs the end of the flail as it comes in.
I'm going to let it. I'm going to just let go.
Okay?
Because that would confuse the hell out of me. It's now holding a flail by the useless bit.
It's not that useless. There's still a bloody great lump of wood on the other end.
There is a lump of wood on the end, yes.
Yeah.
True. But I'm guessing it didn't expect that. We seem to be just trying to
I didn't expect
confuse
to
this.
disarm myself, did you? Now what are you going to do?
Well, I know where it is. I can pick it up later from its steaming corpse.
We need Lenore's Uncle Gabriel. We need them now.
Now, has there been... No, there hasn't. Okay,
Maybe I should just swap to a dagger.
Brunhilde. Over to you.
Over to me, yes. Okay. Yeah, I don't really have much else I can do, so I think we will continue with the plan of failing to hit it. And that plan is coming along nicely. I failed according to plan.
So your days of not hitting this thing are definitely coming to a middle.
Yep, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Right. In that
Can't
case,
believe this.
it's seen you flail around and miss it completely, as opposed to the flail that it's holding that would have hit it if it hadn't stopped it.
Yeah.
Right, you are now target
It's
number
slow on the
1.
uptake, but eventually it realizes that the halfling is crap.
It's realised that the one-armed halfling is really not a threat. And the
Can I?
armoured bod swinging at it with a flail, until just a moment ago, is more of a threat.
Query. It's
Yes.
a 10-second combat round. Can I draw and attack in the same round, or do I have to draw one round and then
You
attack?
can draw an attack in the same round.
That you can draw an attack
Yeah.
in the same round.
I'm pretty
Cool.
sure I read that drawing a weapon is... It doesn't take 10 seconds to...
No. It takes about
Hold
10
on.
seconds to get it back in, at least. Fishing around behind your head.
It's an option.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's
The
a free
GM
action to draw a
can allow
weapon.
you an instant take up, which allows you
Yeah.
to draw your weapon. I would
Also-
get into situations. I mean, how easy is it to get your weapon?
Easy.
Yeah, it's
I've played Witcher, I
there.
know how this works. Query. It's winged. Is it arms, legs, wings, or is it
Arms,
wings
legs,
under
wings.
the arms?
Well,
Right.
that's a good point. When doing the character's hit location earlier on, I failed to take into account that it may have a different table.
Yes. Okay. So, my go?
You'll go.
My go. I am indeed drawing the two-hander. Basically, if it were curved, I'd be Kiriboshi the bastard. But basically, it is killing blow. Well, I
If
wouldn't.
you need alternate percentile hit location tables for boosters, by the way, I have 4 editions of RuneQuest. So I can hit location tables you will ever
It's
need.
fine. I have a location table for this particular
Cool.
opponent.
Giddy. I'm just hoping it's some poor unfortunate sod with a hang glider strapped to its back. I've seen Condor Man. I know how this works.
It's the latest creation from Professor Kugelschreiber, I think it was, from a scenario in White Wolf magazine. The starting scenario from my original Warhammer campaign.
Okay.
It's a fantastic scenario. I can't remember what it's called, but it's great. Ooh.
Yes,
okay.
it absolutely is.
Very audible.
Does this system crit?
Yes, but not on hit rolls.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it crits on damage rolls instead.
Okay. So a 3 is no better than anything else.
No,
unfortunately.
sadly
That's
not.
annoying. Get with the program. Okay. So that is a hit by 46. Because apparently I'm now in a bad mood. So I'm rolling d6 plus 8. No, d6 plus 7, sorry. I'm praying for a 6.
You have a really good chance of critting in the system because it is on a 6. So you've got to roll to hit again, but you've still got a 1 in 6 chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a 6.
Like that.
Did you say I had to roll to hit again?
You have to
Yep.
roll to hit.
Roll to hit again.
So it's a confirming the crit.
Yeah.
But you only confirm it once. You then keep rolling for as often as you get 6s after the first confirmation. I saw Dave, when no one could see his dice back in the day, get over 30 points of damage on a
Wow.
single shot. Yeah.
Did you see Action's comment, by the way?
I have lowered the.
Oh, right, okay.
I have lowered the audio. Yes. Action. Is that any better now? Hopefully it is. So did we confirm the crit?
We did, and I'm just taking a photo of the die.
No need.
No, but for me, given that I rolled a 3 on my first hit, frankly, the 7 I just did, it needs memorialising. And can also be checked on the timestamp if need be. So, rolling. So I'm currently on 11. No, I'm not. I'm on 12. I'm on 13. Went the wrong way.
Cool.
Shit. If I find this bastard has parried, I will not be impressed. Because I'm on 17 so far.
Harry only stops d6 points of damage.
Sorry, yes, I'm on 13, so that's 19. Only 20.
Only 20 points of damage.
Yes,
Okay.
Only 20 on a d6.
yes. With a 30 hit location, but I can plus minus 10% on that.
Would you like to plus minus 10% to move it up to from right arm to left arm, perhaps, or lop a wing off?
I will take a wing off, actually.
So, what happens is this. Switching to your massive, great two-hander, beast-killing blade of doom, this creature realizes that you are truly a threat. It takes both parts of your flail to try and block the blade,
Uh-huh.
which goes straight through the flail,
I need a new flail.
cutting
Okay,
it in
I'll
two,
live.
straight into the thing's left wing, removing it, and then carrying onto its torso, and it falls to the floor unmoving.
It's dead.
Just for those watching at home, that's either Knight fudging the combat system slightly or making rolls without telling us that he's making them, because this system uses a critical system of knocking things down. But either way, it's impressive.
Yeah,
For a roll that does that much damage, yes.
I'm not
Yeah, I
knocking
mean,
it.
the crit roll must have been at plus something quite huge, so the odds are that it was going to be an insta-death. On the stuff critical chart, that might even be high enough that every single result is killed. I don't know what its wound was, but when you hit +6, basically,
Okay.
every single result is killed. It doesn't matter what you roll.
Right.
Not just want to make clear, not criticizing Knight's running of the game or handling of the mechanics. Just playing to the fact that most people watching this are not going to be familiar with first edition Warhammer.
Which is fair enough, actually.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, that is.
I'm going to bring the sword round in a swing, and I'm going to come back straight down into its head. I know it's probably dead. I want to make sure it's very dead.
Okay.
And then I'm putting my sword down, because there's still lightning. Brunhilde, I think it's dead.
I think we may need to reconsider some of our opinions from earlier in this affair.
Yes, I believe the phrase, "it couldn't be demons, it was just people in strange boots leaving animal prints."
Aye. Well, we found one of the animal print boots. It seems like a good guess.
Right. So,
Look, who's going to waste demon magic? I mean, it's difficult, dangerous, and thoroughly illegal stuff.
how do you
Who's going
know?
to waste What, that it's illegal? I know because I have a basic understanding.
No.
Within-
That it's difficult and dangerous.
Everybody knows it's difficult and dangerous, otherwise there'd be more of them.
Do we think that they put demons in strange boots to make people think it was demons when it actually was demons?
I think you might be overthinking things now. But what I want to know, what idiot bothers to go through all the hassle of demon summoning just to kidnap a little girl? I mean, for God's sake.
Something about them being worth magic. People with this colour eyes. Flicks at her own.
Aye.
Right, what are we going to do with the dead demon in the middle of Middenheim?
Is it still there, or does it disappear? What?
It
I
doesn't
can't
hasn't disappeared yet.
look.
From behind you, in the doorway to the inn, a voice says, "Burning it's always an option."
Yeah, that sounds like a sterling idea. Sir, madam?
It's Ludvika.
Huh. And how often has this been a problem you needed to solve?
Before now, not.
Good, good.
Brunhilde hooks her mace back on her belt. It is, I have just one gesture to make with regard to the idea of burning this here demon. It's bloody raining!
There is that. How big is the wing that I lopped off?
Ooh, it's
Far too big to fry in breadcrumbs.
I wasn't thinking of that. That's disgusting. I wanted to turn it into a cloak.
Oh.
You're not the least bit disgusting.
So
No,
the wingspan was probably about 4 foot or so. So they're not small wings. You know, they probably could have enabled it to fly had it actually tried to do so.
Yeah, but it was just it needed to stay close to the ground if it wanted to do anything to us.
Exactly.
Right then. Okay. Brunhilde, that one that's already on the ground, would you mind rolling that up? Oh, hang on, no, I'll do it. Probably easier if I do.
Hi. Under the circumstances, I think I need a drink.
Alcohol.
You're not wrong, Chrono Magistrate.
Alcohol, now that might help.
I think alcohol will certainly help, yes. I've just seen a demon. I can think of nothing that will help quite as much as alcohol at this moment.
I was thinking in terms of burning it.
No, drinking it. Definitely drinking it. Burning
Right.
it would be a waste of good alcohol.
Right, okay, that's
It's a
fine.
demon. Aren't they supposed to dissolve back into the foul abyss from whence they came or something?
Looks like that's just wives' tales.
Aye, well, next wife I meet, I'm going to have words.
Yes, I'm not entirely sure the WI have anything to do with demonology. I'm not sure that they'd know. Right. WI. Actually, WI I can see in the cultist robes.
Whipdad. Definitely Whipdad. The Women's
Yes.
Institute for the Advancement of Demonology.
Yes, I like that. See, it's not just me. I know, agrees. Right.
Right, as
Okay, I'm
you're
going-
rolling up the
Yeah,
wings,
rolling up the leather from the
all
wing.
of a sudden you find yourself on the floor.
I'm watching
and
this from
it's-
inside the inn with a brandy.
And watching it from inside the inn with the brandy, you see it, as you had expected to happen earlier, sort of vaporize into nothingness as it returned to whatever demon dimension it originally came from.
Including the bit I'm holding.
Yes. Which is why
Told ya.
you're suddenly on the floor, because it's just gone. In a puff of smoke. Or whatever it may have been.
Well, that hardly seems fair.
Disappears in what can only be described as a puff of unsmoke.
Yes.
Right, okay, I'll collect up the 2 severed halves of my
Flail.
flail.
If you aren't already familiar with it, then I recommend the Jake Thackeray song. I think it's the Castleford Lady's Magical Circle, something like that.
Yes.
I always have visions of the WI people doing a whole hot fuzz thing of for the greater good.
For the greater good. Yeah.
And if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, do so. It's a cracking film.
Yeah, it is a good film.
Swan. Right. Okay. Okay. I'll collect up my bits though. I'm going to need to see a carpenter, aren't I, and get this repaired. Fortunately, the expensive bit is not damaged.
Indeed. The metal part with the chain and the
Yeah, you
big
just-
heavy.
bit of
It's just the
Yeah.
cap that sits on top of the
Yeah.
the wooden haft that needs to be reattached.
Maybe you can improvise. Can you attach it to the end of one of Erdit's ferrets for now?
Which bit? The wooden holdy bit, which is in two
The
pieces.
ferret would
Or the-
replace the wood holder bit. It would be a ferret flail.
No! Ferrets are horribly
Those-
treated in this game.
See, that was me thinking you were
Those
going to staple a
ferrets are
ferret tail to the wooden holdy
multifunctional
bit and just
already, you see,
wave a
so-
ferret around like a flail.
Do you reckon there's an additional sort of intimidatory value of sort of wee squeeze? Oh dear, and if there are any
Go to
ferret
the
lovers
cat and
in...
nine tails, right? Well,
Fishy!
Ouch.
That hurt. That was pain. Right, okay, I will come back in slight disgruntlement with all my bits.
The irony being you destroyed your own flail.
You have an appointment.
Well, yes, you also have a cut on your face. Did you know that?
No.
Yes, you say it's an out, but it's an out from a demon. For all we know, they've got demon germs.
Pours a bit of brandy on it. Better?
Stings like hell.
Yes, it will do.
Fantastic! Now you smell like a lush. And may also have demon
Working on it.
Finish your drink. Are you still willing to be my second?
Aye, I suppose so.
Excellent. This can go in your
I'm
bag
less
then.
worried about you than I were. I've just seen you take a demon down in one blow.
Well, several blows. It's just only one actually did any good.
Yeah, so that's at one blow. It's the only one that counts. You don't count the ones that didn't hit.
I think in the scoring system you do, but we'll have to see.
No, I'm pretty sure you don't. You only score points for the blows that hit, so you can't count the ones that don't, can you? Doesn't make sense.
No, none of this makes sense.
No, I'll give you that. None of this makes sense. A bloody demon just attacked us outside the inn.
Yeah. Who knew we were here?
Almost everybody. We've been wandering around town telling people
There is
and
that.
asking questions about demons.
Well, yes.
I
Okay,
mean,
so that
in
does.
fairness, it would not take the world's brightest demonologist to figure out that we might perhaps be, well, I mean, actually, maybe it would take exactly not the world's brightest demonologist to figure out that we might be a threat, because a bright one would realise we're no threat at all.
Speak for yourself.
We didn't have a bloody thing. We didn't even think it was a real demon.
No. I didn't see the demons in the back garden. Did you?
Nobody got demons in the back garden. There weren't any demons in the back garden.
Okay, but I'm reasonably sure somebody's. Oh no, we only saw the footprints, didn't we?
Aye, we saw footprints. And we found the boot.
I know, I found it in the sewer, which you have not been in yet.
It's a bloody sewer. Of course I've not been in it. What do you think I am?
Someone who avoids sewers, apparently.
Spot on.
Well, finish your drink. I've got a fight to get to.
Brunhilde will down her brandy.
Okay.
And whiskey after her brandy.
And can I have
Sorry,
a
so
percentile roll?
I automatically go to whiskey in most cases. But definitely
Brunhilde, can I have a percentile roll, please?
Oh dear.
Ah,
4. Oh no, 40. It does it that way round, doesn't it?
yeah, it does the weirdy.
Oh no, that is 4.
That is 4.
Unless you look at the graphics, in which case it's 400. 400.
Yeah,
is
that is definitely 4. Okay.
Just so long as the demon doesn't get back up again after it gets
Thank
knocked.
you. Right there with you, fish.
I remember the good old days of singing along to that, singing, "You drink a whiskey drink, you drink a whiskey drink."
Bless you.
I gotta be back into the mode, guys. I
Okay.
need to go. Try not to sneeze over
This,
everything. Back in a sec.
this is indeed, okay, on Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. This is
Yes.
the first edition of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Originally published, do I have an original publication date in this book?
19.
No, I've only got the publication of this edition, which is 1995. That's much
Yeah.
too late because this is the Hogshead licensed edition that I've got here.
Let's see on the PDF.
I
Nope.
lost my arm in character creation. In fact, I am armless. I am one-armed because there was a set of optional tables that were created for what was called the character pack, which was a set of 50 character sheets and some optional character creation rules. And that gave you things like rolling for your height, weight, description, characters, place of birth, things like that. And one of the things you could roll for was distinctive features. And the distinctive features that Brunhilde got, I rolled my character completely randomly, by the way, which is why I'm playing a female halfling, because I rolled everything.
Everything was random, right down to the gender.
And she is of average build with very white teeth, very short legs, a birthmark, and a missing left arm.
And it is highly likely that during the generation of all these character traits through character generation, that you will get some heavily negative facets to your character, like short legs, missing an arm. You could also be missing an eye. You could be blind.
The short legs reduced my movement score, so she's quite slow. She's only got to move 3. Fortunately, I rolled well in advance, because halflings aren't that quick to begin with, and I rolled well, then got a -1 for the short legs. And the left arm, I think, also penalised me, in addition to not having an arm. I think it reduced my weapon skill, which is why my weapon skill was only 23. Again, I rolled quite well before that. But fortunately, she's not a combat character, and she does have a 50 fellowship, which is pretty darned good.
And yeah, he can't use two-handed. She can't use two-handed weapons.
I couldn't use two-handed weapons anyway. I'm a halfling.
Well, a broadsword would be two-handed for you.
2 hands for most halflings. I can't even use them. She's got a halfling scale, or ostensibly halfling scale base. But as I have been describing it, it's a bit over halfling scale. It's not quite full size, because otherwise she probably would need 2 hands to use it. But it's big and hefty as a mace.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really make a lot of difference. All what they call just hand weapons, all standard weapons have exactly the same combat stats. So no modifiers to anything of initiative, weapon skill, damage. And she's just got a normal mace in that respect. But to her, who are only 4 feet tall, it's a big, hefty mace.
And on the flip side, Drat's character, I think, also picked up a negative to movement, but picked up fleet-footed along the way, if I remember correctly.
Let's see if I can find that distinguishing features.
She's got fleet-footed and a move of...
She was bald with charismatic eyes, again short legs, so she would have had the -1 to move. And a limp, for good measure.
Yes. So, yeah, you can get quite nerfed in character creation if you go through some of these background options. But there are some positive ones you can pick up as well.
Yeah. I found generally, when I was running a campaign of this a long time ago, it just seemed like every time anyone created an elf, they inevitably rolled barrel-chested. The world was barrel-chested elves.
You're right, Drat.
Yeah, sorry. Tail end of
Me
conflict.
making a resurgence.
Other people can sneeze in a pretty way, and look all feminine while doing it. Me, no,
Nobody
disaster
can
area.
sneeze prettily, it doesn't happen.
It's not a thing that's possible.
That is fiction.
True. Yeah. Oh, dear. Sorry about that. Right. Yes. So.
I do
Why?
have I've got a sling. So I can
Shoot from
throw
range.
stones at people at a distance. And I'm slightly better with ballistic skill than I am with weapon skill. but only slightly.
Right.
And yet, it would largely, I think, as you suggested earlier, come down to put stone or bullet in mouth. From there, put it into sling, and then.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it done by a one-armed slinger,
It's
Balearic
it's
slinger.
just the equivalent of the quick way of loading a musket. So you bite off the end of the cartridge packet, pour
Yeah.
gunpowder into the barrel, and then spit the bullet in there.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
But with less likelihood of setting fire to your teeth.
Yes. I suppose any. Oh God, you wouldn't want to do it if you had fillings.
Ooh, yeah.
Spark off the metallic. Right. So, yes, I take it you were just establishing that Brunhilde has started play with one arm and is not going to grow another one back
Precisely.
anytime soon.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes. We were discussing the couch creation system and the fact that Brunhilde has always had one arm. Or at least lost it long ago.
Oh no, why is that, Smurf? Join us instead.
Yeah. Go for it. Hell, you could join us this evening if you felt like it. We've got 2 characters spare. If you're willing to do unpleasant things to ferrets.
Or run away from everything.
Or run away from everything, yes.
And not bathe.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Leonard doesn't bathe, does he? Bless him.
No. This is why he didn't come out in the rain. It's too much like a bath.
Too much like a bath, yes, definitely. So, okay.
Also, the fact that there was potential for scrap as soon as there was a possible demon there, he'd have been back inside. Like, nope, I'm not going out there. Nope, I'm not.
Yep.
Hiding under a table.
So, are we going to head off to the next fight of the evening then?
Who do we tell that there was a demon?
Honestly, I don't think we tell anybody there was a demon. I mean, who do you tell there was a demon? What are you going to do? If you go and tell the Imperial Inquisition that there's a demon, then you're going to be tied up all night, if not all week, explaining it wasn't your demon.
Fair enough.
If you tell the Church of Zigmar, same thing. They'll just hand you over to the Inquisition. You could look for an independent witch hunter if you wanted, I suppose, but if you found an independent witch hunter, they'd probably just burn you to be on the safe side. You know what witch hunters are like.
Well, not really, but...
Assuming you don't just get thrown into an asylum somewhere because they decide you're mad as a bicycle, because how could there possibly be a demon in Middenheim? And what is a bicycle? It probably hasn't been invented yet.
I was just going to say, what is this thing you call a bicycle?
Yes.
Sound check.
Mad as a three-legged horse, that'll do.
Mad as a three-legged horse. I like mad as a three-legged horse.
It's an old saying. We use it in the moves all the time.
I've always had my suspicions about halflings. And having met you, most of them have been confirmed.
Well, I'm glad to be able to educate you. That is a part of my role in life. Now, if you just believe what I tell you on the other things...
What, like, this isn't a demon, there's no such thing as demons?
I mean, I gave you a copy of All the World's Ills, and you didn't read it, did you? You never read that.
I read it.
And I can't give you another one, because I've only got my original at the moment. I need to get some more printed. We really need to find a way to make some money so I can afford to get some of these printed.
I read All the World's Ills, and frankly, I have questions.
Oh, I see. Just because it's critical of your bosses...
Who are my bosses? Self-employed?
Judicial fighter, work for the aristocracy. You're keeping customers down all the time. And
I think you'll find...
Open your eyes and see how things really are. I mean, they're oppressing us.
Now, I don't wish to worry you.
What do you get in return?
Now, I don't wish to worry you, but I think you'll find I do fight on behalf of the, quote, working peasantry.
Oh,
quite frequently against the landowners.
On behalf of working peasantry. The working peasantry can't afford to pay you.
It's not my fault you can't make decent odds. You need to work harder when setting up the book, frankly.
That's got naught to do with any of this.
Yes, it has. Life is gambling. Gambling is life. I'm fairly sure that's in one of your own.
Haven't you?
Sorry?
You've been talking to Erdit again. And now I'm going to have to get you to read The Perils of Gambling. I gave Erdit a copy of that leaflet. Do you know what he did? Do you know what he did with it? He wiped his bum on it. Didn't read a word.
I thought that was political commentary.
Yeah, it could have been. He is an elf.
No, anyway, it wasn't his bum he wiped on. It was one of his ferrets.
That's even worse.
Yes. Well, no. I mean, to be fair, I think he was just tidying him up before he gutted him.
Thank you, Smurf, for the follow.
Yes, no. The backstory is very much that there was a growing up together for these two. So, essentially, if I recall correctly, Brunhilde is the daughter of my mum's squire.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it.
Peter was squire to whatever your mother's name is. I can't remember.
Hey, Mickey.
Yeah.
But Brunhilde takes more after her mother Inga, who was a student.
Yes.
That's another thing that these tables.
Yeah, it generates your character's family as well as your character, so you've got a really good picture of everything that your character grew up with.
Yeah. I've got a lot of siblings running from 9 years older than me down to 6 years younger than me, because halflings have big families.
You think you've got problems? I've got a husband.
Yes, that's true. I'd forgotten that.
Isn't your husband a Marine?
My husband is indeed a Marine. We are
so, yes.
estranged. Yes, fortunately.
Just couldn't take him saying "hoo-ah" all the time.
Yes, Wilhelm is my estranged husband. I will be serving him with divorce papers if I can just work out which port he's due at.
Oh, hello, Mecky. I didn't notice you arrived.
And that, to be honest, will probably be a story in itself, sorting out the divorce.
Yes. Well, it's going to have to be a divorce. He never really approved of me making my living with weaponry.
Just never approved of the fact that you were tougher than him.
Look, once did I turn up to training. Once. And admittedly out-push-upped him.
This is
Twice.
your first fight in this city, and if you don't get there, then you'll not get another one. We better get a move on.
Technically, it's my second fight in this city. I've just had the first one.
That wasn't a fight. That was an interview.
I know you know all the big words, but I'm reasonably sure that interview and guttingly violent death are not actually synonymous, actually having been through some interviews.
No, I did use the wrong word there. Interview is something to do with putting something inside another picture.
Yes, good point. Reflected sound of underground spirits.
Something like that. Anyway.
Right, yes,
But I've forgotten that we're going to now that has fights.
Yes, let's head off to the other place that's not in the slightest bit sus. And frankly, it's looking a lot less as we go.
But you just slaughtered a demon. How hard can one pit fighter be?
I don't want that.
Lenore now gets the crap kicked out of her by a pit fighter.
My sword is not going back on my back, by the way, since there is still lightning. However, I'm taking the whole scabbard off, wrapping the belt around it, and carrying it horizontally.
No.
Okay.
I'm not standing there waving a lightning rod going, come on then, let's be having you. Okay, they're doing elemental manipulation in chat. That's just because... Okay, that's cool. It's all good.
It's fine.
Yep. Wish this wasn't just water then.
So, you step outside the inn, and illuminated by lightning is a... Oh no, wait, I've done that page.
Guys, the GM just went to the wrong
It's
section.
groundhog fight.
No, what it is he's playing with the 5-finger bookmark.
Ah, is that what it is?
Yes.
He lost the fight against the pit fighter and her halfling companion, but
Yes.
he's going back to roll it again.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly, Chrono. Right.
Oh, is that how dodge blow works? It's just a jump to the left.
I was having the good taste not to say that. You, however, just, you
Nope,
took the
I
quick,
don't have good
easy
taste.
path. No,
I
you.
follow the dark side. It's the quick, easy path all along.
Well, you do always have to take the short way.
So as you're heading out, you're followed out of the inn by Ludovica.
Oh, coming to see me perform?
No, I'm going to tidy up your mess.
It's gone.
I thought demons were self-tidying. Thought we'd established that.
It's gone.
Oh,
There's still mess.
okay.
Needs tidying up. Needs looking at. Speaking of needs looking at, are you okay there, Brunhilde?
It's a scratch. It's fine.
It's still leaking.
Card dictate rules. I'm only lightly wounded, and the healing rates are much quicker on that.
So
Oh
long as you're
god, I
sure.
don't have anything first aidy.
I'm sure.
Look,
I'm sure.
could you?
I'm sure we could get Matilda to look at it if you wanted to.
Mm.
If it's bothering me when I get back,
Look, if it
Sounds
starts
fair.
turning green and glowing, then you're definitely getting it seen to. Okay.
well, if it starts turning green and glowing, then bloody right, I'm getting it seen to. The only problem with that is that the only solution that I've ever heard for things that start turning green and glowing is amputation, and I don't quite fancy it. That's me head. You appear to have gone silent again, Drop.
Oh God. I thought Drop was just mouthing things for a second.
And we're back in the
yes,
room.
we're back in the room.
First off, so did I. Then I realised that no. Wounds and recovery page 129.
Yes.
Right. So you're heading off to the Bloody Tusk.
That was it. Yes.
The bloody task.
Yes, we're going off to the Tusk, which we don't like very much.
So it's dark. It's an absolute torrential downpour. There's thunder claps going off all over the place. Lightning is lighting up the sky. It's a real humdinger of a storm.
We're going to have to. I'm seriously considering taking the sewers at this stage, just on the
Probably
grounds
be
that then
drier.
it would be slightly drier.
Just to clarify, at my current rate of woundedness, which is lightly wounded, I will recover naturally without any aid at the rate of 1 wound per day. Technically, that's 1 wound per day of rest, but
Yeah.
I've never known any GM in any game who actually forces people to rest in order to get their hit points back.
Nope.
Oh, and Knight says challenge accepted.
I'm not that much of a git.
No,
Normally.
no, not in that direction. No, so yes, don't slag off the GM when you're about to head into gladiatorial.
The
combat.
second fight of the evening.
Second fight, yeah. Having had no fighting and been wandering around after all the intelligent characters, going, "Gosh, this is interesting, isn't it?" For 3 sessions, now suddenly it's right,
All
okay.
about fighting, yeah.
Yes,
That's
all
why
the
they-
fights, all the
yeah,
time.
They knew that tonight was just all going to be fighting.
That's
so
why they're not
they
here,
sit
yes.
there, watch you do the entire session.
Thanks, Captain. I got more strikes in than anyone else. Right.
So you arrive at the Tusk,
Yep.
somewhat drenched.
Drenched and in a bad mood. Awesome, awesome way to start a fight.
You can
Can I
see
have a towel? I'm going to bust.
you can see Ivan's already sat there by the fire drying out. He must have left not long before you guys had to deal with the demon.
Yeah. Were I up against him this evening, I might have considered that he would have summoned a demon against me. But I don't know why, because I think he could just pick me up and throw me.
I don't really see Ivan summoning a demon. I'm not sure Ivan can spell demon.
He doesn't have to be able to spell it, just pronounce it.
Ah, that's a good point. He could learn his summoning incantations phonetically.
Yes.
It's a really difficult way to learn it because that means that somebody's got to say it to you. After you finish hiding from that demon, you've got to carrot it back to make sure you've got it right.
Does this mean that there is basically one really pissed off demon who is the learning demon?
Now,
His
now,
training demon
but-
turns up with a P on it.
yeah. And now I want to put a room into a dungeon somewhere that has like 12 demons in it that were all summoned by somebody trying to learn demonology by rote and just having to repeat it again and again. And just locked them all in a room because he didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, they're not aggressive. They've just been playing really, really intense rounds of cribbage for the last 200 years.
Or, yeah, that'll do.
Yep. Okay. Demonology.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the book you don't want to get on Audible.
No, but if you wrote one, it would have to be read by Bruce Campbell.
Obviously.
Fish, could you use a glass or something?
Well, I'd have to go and get one. That's why I'm drinking this, purely because that's the only thing I've got within reach without having to go and actually get it.
What is it?
Spiced rum.
Oh, okay.
That's
I was
fine.
trying to identify it. It's just unfair.
Scanning around, you can pretty much identify who the other fighters are for this evening. Ivan, you already know.
Yeah.
He's head and shoulders above the rest, literally.
Yeah. Who was it I'm supposed to be fighting? Because they did give me the name.
They did. Can you remember it? Because I can't.
Several weeks ago. Fighting McBang Bang? I can't remember.
But looking at the other fighters, there is one other female fighter.
Yeah.
Fairly athletic, powerful looking,
Uh-huh.
wearing leather armour.
Right. I'm standing here at my full 5'5", thinking, kind of feeling outgunned here.
And you can tell that she is one of the fighters of the evening because she's keenly looking around the room, trying to work out who she might be up against.
Uh-huh. I have a feeling they said I was up against a fella. But I could be wrong. It wouldn't shock me to put them up against another woman.
There
I'm
are,
expecting a cat fight.
yeah, including yourself. You count 6 fighters, which would make for 3 bouts.
Yeah.
So with yourself, Ivan, this woman, there are 3 others, all of whom are blokes, and range from something that, had you been on a coastal city, you'd expect to be a dockyard thug, through to someone who looks like they've probably retired from the military.
Uh-huh. This is not really the high class, high aggression fighters that you might see normally in a professional setting. This is more the ones that didn't get kidnapped. I'm thinking retirees and newbies. Or just fired from the circuit. Could be. This is the under the wire fighting. So I'm kind of addressing this down to Brunhilde.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't really paying attention.
Right. Thank you. I'm just speculating on the quality of the fighters in here. I'm thinking probably experienced, but possibly over the hill. New and looking to prove themselves, but not really the high-end professionals. Overall. And possibly someone who may be...
That's a problem?
Well, it's not a problem. Less predictable. Somebody showy and professional, they're going to fight in a certain way. To be honest, they're going to fight for the best show. This lot, they might fight to cause as much damage as possible. Depends how the betting goes. it's just worth thinking about.
Well,
Talking of which, you feel like getting any side bets on me? That would be
well,
useful.
it's heard it does the betting really for the most part. I normally,
Fine.
I know, you know, you know, our normal procedure. You do the fighting, I work the crowds. Only,
Yeah.
we came here before, and it didn't seem like a crowd that were going to really go my way. So I
No.
think maybe I'll just stay quiet and watch what you're about.
You did demand that they give you the use of their kitchen.
Yes, and they took offence. I don't know why. It's very unreasonable.
Well, it was just rude. You walk in, you demand to use the facilities.
I'm a halfling.
Yes, and you do this every single time. There are hotels that will not have us.
It's accepted, though, that halflings cook.
No, it's stereotypical. I thought you'd be all about breaking down the stereotypes.
There's nothing wrong with stereotypes. It's cliches I can do without.
Oh, so the cliche would be if you were a tubby little halfling who could cook.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. If I were always eating and cooking, then that would be bigotry in its simplest term. But, you know, I just happen to be a cook. I enjoy cooking.
I've seen your siblings.
Not many of them. I mean, you haven't seen the ones in jail for starters.
So, how about you go around and you talk me down a little bit and see if we can get some better odds going?
Well, I can try if you want. All right, then.
Besides, you're the only one with any cash.
You think I've got cash?
I'm fairly sure you've got cash.
I've got precious little cash.
Seeing you walk in, the barman looks at you, gives you a nod and a smile, and then puts up on the wall behind him the fight roster for the night.
Okay, sorry, I'm being mothed.
Clearly not bothered by any worries that his entire operation is illegal.
It really isn't, is he? Is he paying the right people off, or is he just assuming that it's going to be too wet for anyone to come out?
I mean, on the one part, you're in the dodgiest part of the city where the City Watch tend not to go unless there's a war on. And then they go in the tens, geared for a war. B, it's peeing down with rain. And C, there is a certain amount of arrogance this guy seems to have.
He used to be in the fights, didn't he?
He's got that look.
I seem to recall he said he used to be in before, for reasons he was no longer allowed to be. But he declined to go into those reasons in detail.
Indeed.
As we come in, I'm looking for the shortest eligible male at the bar.
Shortest eligible male at the bar. Okay.
You really don't have time for that.
And at the moment we get through the door, I'm leaving Lenore's side and walking up to him.
Okay.
Trying to look annoyed as I do so.
That's just your face.
Buy us a drink, love, and I'll give you a hot tip.
He looks at you. Evening. What's your hot tip?
Don't bet on her. She's bloody useless.
I'm glad you said that. Johan.
Brunhilde, nice to meet you. Now, about that drink.
I'm going to
Same for me, and whatever she wants.
I'm going to give Brunhilde the evil
There's
side
pretty
eye.
much everybody within at least 10 feet of her now knows this hot tip. This was not done subtly.
Okay.
Talk me down, she said. Fine, I'm talking her down.
The arena's downstairs, isn't it?
The arena is indeed downstairs, yes.
Right. I'm going to, in that case, lightly bash the hilt of my carried two-hander against the side of the stairs as I head down in a clumsy me kind of way.
Okay.
Only the hilt, because the hilt can take it.
Fortunately, we don't have Erdin here. We really need Erdin so that he can place some bets for us.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yep.
As you head down, the other fighters stand up and start to head down. And that includes Johan, who has just bought you a drink.
Ooh.
Are you?
Cat, I'm not feeding you.
I wonder what that noise was.
Yeah, that was the cat who is directly underneath my microphone at the moment.
Shouty little thing, isn't he? This
Being
evening?
shouted, yeah. I think I am going to have to feed the cat, or he is going to keep shouting at my microphone.
Bless him.
I should be back in a moment.
He's just here. Oh, you've only fed me 4 times today. Right. Okay, yes, I will head downstairs then. We do have to use paired weapons, don't we? So everyone's on equal footing, if I recall correctly.
By paired, you mean both opponents use the same weapon, not paired as in weapon in each hand.
No, although I actually probably could.
There were the options for that to be a match from what you saw of the armory downstairs.
Yeah, no, I've only got two-handed, not two-weapon. Right.
So the fighters head downstairs and take a bench, effectively, off to one side of the arena.
Okay.
Across the arena from the weapons rack. So you can all see the weapons rack. And you can see the array of weapons that are there.
Right. Now,
I got a drinking receptacle.
he's punishing me because all I can drink at the moment is water. Because I have no Coke. Right.
So not one of Michael Gove's fans then.
I was just thinking, should I make a Michael Gove comment at this point?
Ouch, I wasn't going to, but that's because I didn't want evil Pob in my brain.
Now you have evil Pob in your brain. You're welcome.
It's Pob. Right.
A short while later, so some of the punters start to filter down. Brunhilde, as you watch the punters start to filter down, they'll take a good look at the fight roster to see who's fighting who.
Who am I fighting?
You are fighting someone called Johan.
Oh, that's just funny.
Remind me to play volley Brunhilde at some point. Swing you round and round and round with the other arm. Right. I'm fighting somebody short. This means they will be unbalanced and terrifying. Actually, Johan is the short guy at the bar that Brunhilde has just been telling I'm crap.
Yeah. The person that I picked on in order to spread the word that Lenore's not very good, so they shouldn't bet on us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So,
Did
what
we
are the odds
establish?
at the moment on Brunhilde, on Lenore?
The odds on Lenore are not bad.
Oh,
You've got let's see. Courtesy of your loud comment. Odds are currently 5-3 on Lenore. With not much better than evens on Johan.
Okay, I think what I will do then is to whoever is taking these bets, is it the bartender or is it somebody else?
It's somebody else.
Right, to whoever it is, and with a big smile on her face, Brunhilde will say, I am required to make a bet on the lanky one there, Baldy.
I'm only 5'5".
I feel terrible that I am going to lose this money, which is definitely mine and not hers. I am not a paid stooge. And I will bet a gold crown on Lenore.
Fair enough. Right. I've got 10. Flail. Damaged. Right. We are permitted to use our armour, aren't we?
We are.
Good. Okay, so I'm definitely toweling mine off. I do not want to go rusty. As it is, I've got 2 hours allocated now to oil it up the next day.
Okay. So the first fight, because you're on fight 2 on the card.
Mhm.
First fight is the guy that looked like he was would pass as a dockyard thug versus the retiree.
Okay, going for the warm-up.
And all the betting, Brunhilde, seems to be in favour of the retiree. He's the favourite. Odds of the thug doing anything are long. 10-1 odds on him.
I'll put a shilling on for the sake of it, because you never know. I might get lucky.
Remind me never to go to the casino with you, Fish. Yeah, I'll put 50 quid down.
So the fight starts. They are using longswords each. Sorry. I shouldn't use the word longsword for you guys. It changes what you mean. What the game considers a longsword.
So they're using one-hander. They're using arming swords, yeah?
Arming swords.
Warhammer. It'll just be a sword. That's what it's called in Warhammer.
Yeah. I need to check what Como means now. I know that Tachi means sword.
The older chap that looks like a retiree certainly is more cautious, conserving energy. He's letting the thug make all the plays. The thug's making all the actions: strike, fade, move around. Clearly wearing himself out. You can, within a few minutes of the fight, you can see him start to get short of breath.
Okay, do I know what weapon I'm going to be fighting with? Is it just going to be one-hander or is it going to be two-hander?
You weren't told. Based on how this fight started, the tavern keeper just gave them the weapons. So it could be down to his choice at the start of the fight.
Okay, fair enough. Lenore is looking at the arena layout, looking at the surface, any parts that look like they've got excess sawdust on, so they're more likely to be slippery. Basically, professional evaluation.
Okay.
Of the environment.
It looks like whoever set it up or prepared it most recently has evened it out. So any scuffs that the first fight makes will be the first scuffs in the dust on the floor.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair enough.
Which largely makes it all about watching the footwork. It's not long after you start to see the thug get out of breath that you can see him start overreaching himself. He's getting frustrated that he's not making contact, and within a split second of action, he overreaches himself. The retiree almost imperceptibly moves, and all of a sudden the thug's on his ass with a sword at his throat and his own sword across the floor.
Nico getting frustrated. Oh.
And he's there on the floor. I yield! I yield! I yield!
Huh.
I yield! He's looking plaintively over at Albrecht to hopefully call off.
Okay. Are the audience baying for his blood,
No.
or are they more?
No,
sort
they're
of just here to see.
they're actually quite civilised and applauding.
Well, that deserves a round of applause. Somebody? Anybody?
You got legs, love. Slap your thigh or something.
I hate you. I hate you, Fish. I hate you so much. You have waited until I drank. Give me some. Right.
Albrecht steps into the middle of the arena, helps up the poor young thug, and then literally just pushes him off out of the way, and goes to shake the hand of the victor.
Okay, making a note of his name if he's announced.
He is indeed announced, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Wilhelm, formerly of the Watch.
Just double checking that it's not my ex.
No.
Just okay. That's cool. Right, good to know.
Definitely not your ex. I would have pointed that out from the get-go, just a coincidence of naming.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
I will turn to somebody who doesn't look too annoyed at my presence. Say, who was the other fella? So I know not to bet on him again.
His name was Victor.
Oh, that's irony.
Hey, that was a bad choice.
Whether as I am the poor lost Lenore.
Yes, I am indeed making a note of all these fighters to see which of them go missing, since our initial plots in the city seem to involve disappearing fighters.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, in a move of anticipation on Wilhelm's part, he will be returning for more bouts tomorrow. He was expecting to win tonight. He has not proved us or him wrong. You can return tomorrow to see Wilhelm fight again. Our next bout. We have a newcomer tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Lenore.
Okay, I'm adopting the deer eyes. Looking as inoffensive as I possibly can, and I will approach for my weapon.
And her opponent this evening, a fighter you've known well for the past few weeks now. He's a regular here. I'm sure you know the lithe young Johan there.
Johan.
Go on, Johan.
Come on, Johan.
Kick her ass.
I thought you were on my side. If I could work up a tear to the eye, I would, but I'm not that good an actor. Okay.
Now, to throw some confusion amongst our spectators, they have been anticipating Johan to win this match. So, I'm going to give our Lady Lenore here an advantage. He walks across to the weapons rack and picks up two-handed swords. One in each
I
hand.
really only use one.
Your weapon this evening.
Uh-huh.
Johan looks a little disconcerted.
How? I know he was supposed to be about the shortest person at the bar. How tall is he?
He's not much. He's probably about only 3-4 inches taller than Brunhilde.
Mm.
This thing is huge for Johan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a halfling. He's a really short human.
Yep. Okay. This means nothing.
Looking at the fight that what's his name has set up for young Johan here this evening, I'm wondering whether he's perhaps been sticking his weapon where it doesn't belong.
You took a long way to get to that joke, Fish.
Yes, I usually do.
Yes, you took the pretty route.
He took a run up at it.
Well, she does. Brunhilde's only little. Are you going to be leafleting the crowd, or are you really completely out?
No, I ascertained when we were here before that this is not my crowd.
You did that little bit of research earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need new leaflets for these people, basically.
What, drinking and how it happens? How to get blood out of your shirt?
I've yet to figure out what the right leaflet for these people is. Probably something targeting the kind of unfair laws that make their preferred entertainment illegal and underground. Or maybe something about the fact that if they were allowed to do this, they'd be taxed on it.
So don't change the status quo because tax. I think Brunhilde might be on a hiding to nothing.
No, not don't change the status quo.
Possibly.
Change it the right way.
So Brunhilde gets the tax.
No. So
the people get the tax?
keep the tax. Because they've got rid of the people who would have taxed them.
But they keep the tax anyway because it's illegal fights.
Yeah, but at the moment they don't get to be able to do this out in the open on nice sunny days.
No, they end up in the basements of dodgy pubs in the pissing rain.
Yeah, precisely.
Fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you your combatants. Lenore and Johan. You may start when ready. And he backs out of the ring.
Okay, I will have taken whichever sword was offered to me. I had a look at them earlier when I was here.
You did?
And they are all
Identical.
matched sets, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I will adopt a guard. Probably full.
I was just thinking Alba. It's got to be Alba.
It's got to be Alba. Has to be Alba. Because it looks so much like you don't know what you're doing. Which is sword tip down, held in front of you.
My cat just attempted to deafen me. You lay down on the volume control. Strat has the same headset as me. She will be able to verify the fact. I normally run this at about 6 to 8%.
Yes.
The cat just lay on the plus button.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Johan looks uncomfortable with the weapon he's been given.
Mm-hmm.
He looks off balance. He looks
Either
nervous.
one of us is being played for a sucker here, and I'm not so. I don't know who it is.
I'm not convinced that it's not you.
Yeah. So I am going to stay in the guard, and I am going to shuffle step forward.
Okay.
In a threatening manner, but I'm not actually bringing my sword up yet.
And let's go to initiatives.
Okay, so we're looking.
You are
at
45, aren't you?
45 initiative, yes.
Right. He has the initiative on you.
Everybody has the initiative on me. I need to remind me when we go to advancements.
Boost
that
initiative.
I take that.
To be fair, he's only got the initiative on you by a couple of points.
Fair play.
So taking that would fix it.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, because we're both on -10 to initiative, so it doesn't matter.
If she takes a +10 to initiative when she's got XP, so I'm going to have to do the same because otherwise she'll be faster than me and I can't.
No, I won't. I'll be
Oh, no,
55.
right, because-
Yeah, she'll be 55. You're 62.
So I was thinking of my base initiative for starter profile initiative, which is 52.
Right. He makes a big overhand swing at you and misses completely.
Okay, yeah, I'm literally just going to
And
scooch backwards.
there's a thunk
A
as the
pace.
blade hits the floor.
Yeah.
The blades,
Looking-
by the way,
Yeah.
you investigated this before and already aware. The blades are blunted. They are training blades. They are not designed for cutting or killing. I'm
No.
just going over this for the benefit of everyone watching, thinking this is an arranged fight. They're using swords. Someone's going to die. They're training swords. They're blunted. They're not going to be slicing limbs off.
But on the
No.
other hand, if somebody hits you on the head with a blunt 6-foot length of steel, there's still a good chance it's going to do some significant damage.
Yes.
I mean, it is effectively a man-portable lamppost.
You waited just until Drat was drinking for that, didn't you?
I actually was looking at you, not Drat, so that was pure coincidence. Just bad luck.
Yeah, having wielded one of these things, for real, they are big for me. They are not easy. Once they start moving, they don't want to stop.
Yeah, momentum and gravity really become a thing.
Yeah. They're awesome. This is actually something I'm going to have to pay attention to. How big is the arena?
Oh, the arena's probably sort of 20 foot across. You've got a
Okay,
reasonable
that's
amount
all
of
right.
room.
That's cool. Right, because these are kind of area denial weapons.
Yeah, if you get close to the edge of the arena, you might be at risk of hitting some of the spectators.
Yeah. Okay. Not a problem.
But
Fish,
they are
do you mind- I'll
probably
be keeping you
reasoned enough
up.
to... I suspect that's the rulebook he's looking at.
Oh, okay. Just
Yeah,
checking.
Just on a mechanical note for those watching, if, as we are certainly being led to believe, Johan does not have the specialist weapon two-handed skill, then he is operating on a weapon skill of 10 at this point. But he could also be lying.
Also true.
Yes. Okay. After that failed swipe at me, then
Yep.
I'm going to bring the two-hander up to vertical,
Okay.
and I'm going to step in with a simple zorn. So it's a simple overhanded cut, which, if it works right, will finish with a thrust somewhere around his chest, because I'm not a git. Because even a blunted sword is not fun to have in your face.
Okay, roll it.
Oh, shit. What is my weapon skill? Because that's a 36.
That sounds pretty good.
Whoa! Yes, made it by 3, unless there are any bonuses, which
Yeah.
I don't think there are. Two-hander, no modifier to the weapon skill.
Nope.
So yeah, made that.
Okay.
So that's him attempting to parry for his next.
He attempts to parry but fails to do so.
Okay. So this sword is coming down towards his collarbone.
Yep. He tries to move his sword out of the
It's going
way.
to end in his chest.
Basically, yeah, he's missed your sword and sort of left himself open to where it is going to hit him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Fish. Both of us can say that with experience. Right. So yes, that's coming at a 63 on the to hit table.
63 is the body.
It is indeed. Which matches
yeah.
what you were planning for anyway.
Which is what I was going for, yeah. Basically, I'm aiming for this area. It'd be coming in on that collarbone, but I'm aiming for there.
Yep.
This is just a first strike. Okay, so that is 4, 6, and my strength is 5, so 11.
Oof. That's still going to knock him on his ass.
Probably got a decent toughness, which is subtracted from that, but
Yep.
even so,
He's
assuming
gonna-
maybe toughness 5, most people will have 5 to 6 wounds.
Depending also if he's armoured.
I'm assuming we don't have armour in play.
I've got my armour.
We do have armour in play.
Oh yeah, of course you have. So
Yeah, we do have armour in play. I did specify he was wearing leather armour, so that's
Yeah.
1 point.
Actually, that's not going to do a damn thing then, because leather armour only works up against 5 points of
Yeah.
damage, and beyond that, it does nothing at all.
Oh, I've missed that
Something
one.
like
Well
that.
spotted. So that's still. Yeah, that's still left him on his arse.
Yeah, it's probably putting him straight to 0 wounds straight
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But at least not to the, oh, look, insta-dead level of
No,
critical.
Yeah.
no, that's why I wasn't aiming for anywhere more vital.
Again, to explain for those viewing at home, the way this game system works is damage comes off your wound score. When you hit 0 wounds, it's not like D&D where I'm at 0, I'm now unconscious, possibly dead, possibly bleeding, whatever. Instead, each wound that you take beyond 0 is then an automatic critical.
Yeah.
It's not a critical system whereby you do extra damage, it's an actual critical table that is rolled on. And you don't start rolling on them until you hit 0 wounds. So essentially, it's a little bit closer really to what D&D always claimed hit points were, that they were a mix of things like sword tricks and getting out of the way and endurance, and not actual damage, till you get right down to the bottom. Well, wounds in this really are how much can you take before you take serious damage, and then you're on criticals once you hit 0 wounds. And criticals in this game can be very
And there are two options when it comes to resolution of critical. There's the critical tables that can go into quite some detail in the response. Your blow destroys opponent's hip joint almost totally. The leg hangs limply, a mass of tattered, pulpy flesh. You know, that kind of thing. Or, as I did previously in the demon fight, there's simply a sudden death table you can revert to. So when it goes over a certain point, they're dead.
Yeah. Insta-dead.
And for when I run games like this, the choice between the table and the insta-death depends on whether it's a major NPC or not, or a player character. Characters, major NPCs, go on the table. Mooks, mobs, they go on the insta-death.
Even with blunted swords, yeah.
Yeah, it is very, very possible to kill someone with a blunted sword.
The equivalent of a mace in this instance. So it's not going to cut. You would just use. I'm not sure whether Knight has them, but there were some optional tables that were published, I think, in White Dwarf magazine, which covered alternative criticals for different damage types. So you had specific arrow criticals rather than just having the same.
Yeah, I don't have those.
So if you cut your leg off, and I think they did some crushing criticals in there for things like maces as well.
Yeah, that then gets closer to games like Rollmaster, where it's not just every weapon type that has a table; it's every weapon has a table.
Also, bear in mind, even though these are blunted swords, that means that instead of having a nice sharp edge, the edge is
Probably
about
2 or
yay
3
thick.
mil. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a 2 or 3 mil blunt edge is still going to lop a limb off with enough power behind it.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yes. It's to be cautious of.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So yes, in the space of sort of 10-15 seconds of actual combat, after a few moments of sizing each other up, poor Johann's on his backside on the floor.
Yep. It's
Spark
all in
out.
the footwork. I didn't want to kill anyone.
This is a blunt sword. Does that look blunt particularly? You don't still don't want that hitting you.
No. Which one is that? Is that the rapier?
Yes, that's my rapier.
Yeah, I couldn't see the hilt.
The only one that I have handy at the moment. The others are still in boxes. I never unpack them when I move.
Fair enough.
And once again, there's a surprise, a note of surprise among the crowd, but nevertheless an applause.
Okay, I will do a theatrical bow, and then I will help up Johann from the floor.
Who's incredibly groggy and somewhat weak at the knees.
I will help him up on his left-hand side, because his right-hand side of his chest and his shoulder are bruised.
And
I suppose I'd better collect her ladyship's winnings.
Alberic steps in and assists you in helping pull Johann up. Ladies and gentlemen, our newcomer is a winner. Drinks on the house for the Lady Lenore and her friend.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Yes, she'll do the full-on smile and bow, and then retreat back to the fighters'
And
benches.
you there, healer. See to Johann.
You're right,
I'm
kid.
making poor old Victor didn't get healed.
Victor wasn't so much wounded as knocked on his ass with a blade at his throat rather than in it.
Yeah.
The only
Johann's
possible healing that Victor would have needed was clean underwear.
Johann's probably a bit groggy for this, but I will help him over to the healer before I head off to claim my drink.
Yep.
Who did you piss off in his ear? Not your weapon, not your fight. I'm guessing Knife Man?
You don't get anything comprehensive out of him other than coughs and wheezes and...
Am I
He'll be
right in
fine.
thinking that I will have won 1 crown and 13 shillings?
You get your stake back plus the 1 crown 13 shillings winning.
Yep, that's what I thought. Lovely.
Oh, that's a drink.
More than a drink.
True, I'm thinking witch prices.
If I can actually wait character sheets and let me update the...
How
Now,
many
ladies and
shillings
gentlemen,
for a
before we
crown?
have our headline fight this evening, I should perhaps suggest everyone goes and refreshes their drink. I think tonight's headline fight will be a tense fight. We have 2 previous winners facing each other. Get your drinks, buckle yourselves down, and make sure you've placed a bet on who you think's going to win between the mighty Ivan and last night's victor, Greta.
Okay, be interesting.
And as he says that, a good dozen people head upstairs to get another drink. You can see Ivan already standing up and limbering up, loosening up, shaking off the boredom of having been sat down for too long.
Brunhilde, get me a beer.
I will head up to the bar. I'm going to need 2 ales and a tray.
And
Good
a tray.
point.
It takes a moment for the penny to drop on the bar servant there. Oh, no problem.
Thank you kindly.
The drinks are put on the tray. 4 ales are put on the tray.
Apparently it's ladies' night or something. Buy one, get one free.
They did say drinks were on the house.
They did.
And you are not charged for any of the 4. It's just bam, 4 ales, bang. There you go. Are you okay getting those downstairs?
Thank you kindly. Yeah. So we'll endeavour to get downstairs without spilling 4 ales.
Good.
It'll probably be 2 ales by the time I get there.
I was going to say the easiest way to balance out that tray is to drink at least 2 of them.
Drink 2 ales now. No, drink half of each one, so that
There's room for it to slop.
That's fine. All right.
It's only small beer, dear.
Me and my 35 dexterity will have no trouble at all, I'm sure.
Funnily enough, I'm not going to ask you to make a dex roll to do that thing.
Good.
Mine's
Yeah,
only 39.
You've been one-armed for a good number of years.
35
I think
actually
you're
high
used to
average.
it.
Like 33, I think, is average
Yeah.
across the board. Except for the stats that only have a single number, and obviously they don't have legacy strength. That would be silly.
That'd be very strong. You know, I am assuming at this point that you've had enough practice of carrying trays of stuff one-handed
She's
to
probably
not need
done
it.
this before, yeah.
Once or twice. So, everyone takes their seats downstairs.
I've been watching these 2 limber up.
Yep.
That's why I didn't go upstairs. I want to try and assess both of them as fighters based on their moves and their
what
build.
What did you say the other fighter was called?
It's
Greta. Greta looks fairly a combination of strength, not as physically powerful as Ivan, but probably on a par with you.
Right.
With a certain amount of agility, possibly some acrobatics training.
Huh. Yeah, that's somewhere I fall down, no pun intended. I'm very much a hitty things, not a leap around
This is
things.
Ivan the Barbarian, book 16, Ivan and the Ninja.
Now,
Yeah, that
Ivan,
just means they're going to end up
you
sleeping together.
you're familiar with, having met him and spoken to him. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
Clearly built for power. Probably wrestled bears back home.
Only 8 bears.
Put a couple of shillings on Ivan.
But he does have a modicum of agility to him. He's no acrobat. He's no Kislev circus performer.
I hate
But-
the Kislev circus. God, I hate the Kislev
Blood
circus.
Bowl, they are horrible.
Oh, boss.
He is not going to be jumping over people to stomp on other people's heads. But he is not.
In heels. Come on.
He is not a lumbering Hulk.
Right. I am going to put a couple of shillings on Greta.
Oh, I see. So we bet on opposite of fight.
Yeah.
That's reinforcing the idea that at the moment they don't like each other very much, despite everything.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, so he drops 2 shillings on Greta and.
Yeah.
And yeah, Brunhilde's put 2 shillings on.
Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The fight. I would say the fight to end all fights, but we'll be back here tomorrow with more fights. But certainly the fight to
This
potentially
fight.
end the career of one of these two. Neither of these two are known for giving quarter. Greta has been known to ignore my calls to stop.
Ivan, what's your safe word?
When the lady sees red, people have died.
Safe word is I'm a coward.
The safe word is, where's Leonard when you need him?
Yes.
3 blocks that way.
Yep.
And just to make things a little more interesting, we're going to give them both big axes. Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest those in the front rows move back a row. This could be interesting. And he proceeds to give both Ivan and Greta a fairly big bearded axe each.
I don't like to worry anybody, but if everyone in front row moves back a row, then we've just got a different front row. You're in just as much danger.
It's just a distance thing, Brunhilde.
Right, precisely. You're just slightly further away from being hit in the face. You're not going to be hit in the face.
If you're slightly further away from being hit in the face, then frankly you're far less likely to be hit in the face. And
you
you're
think
less likely than
that?
most.
Look at it. I mean, it's nearly as big as your sword.
While you were discussing this, you can see Greta and Ivan start circling each other. Any semblance of the friendly, affable oaf that you've met and spoken to in the tavern is gone. This guy's all about the fight now.
Yeah.
He's got no.
Him on our side.
He's got nothing beyond what's in front of him.
If all the best fighters have been kidnapped, why is he still around?
If I remember rightly, did he not say he weren't here? He got here and the fight had already been closed down.
Yes, you
That's
could well
why
be
he's
right.
here. So if he'd have been here earlier, they'd have got him too.
Yes, and I'm guessing
What I
that
want to know is, when did she turn up?
Yes. Or is it...
I'm not doing that because I haven't got that hand.
No. Is it...
We need to green screen your left arm.
Definitely need to green screen that left arm.
Gaffer tape, left hand on the chair. Which is a whole kinky thing. I'm thinking that she's unofficial, same as this entire place.
she's a bit good to be.
She is. If
You
she
can
doesn't,
make more money on official points.
but if she doesn't follow regulations, then that's less likely.
I suppose she could have been kicked out. You'd be the one to find out that sort of thing. You've
Yes.
got contact.
While
Kicked
you're
out-
discussing, you can see Ivan and Greta. I won't say trading blows, but trading swings. Neither of them are able to connect.
Feeling you out a bit and generally
no,
having a go here and
th-
there,
th-
but not quite getting
There are
there.
some definite have-a-go moments that you can hear as half the air leaves the room as the crowd thinks someone's about to connect, and then Greta from out of nowhere ducks under where the blade swings through, possibly
today,
losing a
always,
hair
I
or two
don't
in the
have my
process.
soundboard loaded up with the ooh and ah noises that are on there.
Yeah.
She ducks under his swings. She sort of sidesteps each of the blows, and every time she swings through, Ivan's axe is there to stop it. They're a fairly close match, these two, and it looks like the duration of the fight is taking its toll on Ivan. He's big, he's bulky, and he's heavy. He's got a lot more to move around. Whereas the lighter Greta seems to be winning out on the stamina front. And you can still see people placing bets while the fight's still in progress.
So are you both talking at the same time there?
Yeah. Sorry.
What were you saying, Fish?
I was saying if he's blocking rather than dodging, he needs to disarm. Because with a bearded axe, that's what they're intended for. And he seems to be, I would say, he's got the strength if he can hook that axe round the half, that bearded blade round the half of hers and just pull. It might do the job. Anyway, and you were saying?
Yes, from watching the people around, you can see there is still money changing hands. There are still people placing bets, and as things go on, people are placing more money on Greta. It seems that the vibe around the arena is that Greta's got this in the bag. She's wearing him down. She's making him overextend to the point that she'll be able to get a killing blow in or a knockout blow in. That's what the murmurs are saying. And while you're watching this and the cut and thrust and block, the chap who's been doing the rounds, taking the monies, comes up to you, both of you. Want to change your bets? Want to place your bets? Greta's looking good now.
I'm gonna leave my money on Greta.
Good choice.
I reckon the odds I'll get on Greta if I change now won't make it worth betting. I'll leave it where it is.
A brave choice.
It's only a couple of shillings. Never bet more than you can afford to lose, right?
And as if to underline your statement,
Yeah.
there's another sharp intake from the crowd. As not only does Ivan block with the axe, but does indeed do what the axe was built to do and disarm Greta, throwing both axes off to the side, one of which embeds in the wall. He then grabs Greta by the throat with his other hand and just lifts her off the ground.
You see, that's making use of your environment.
And just holds her there until she stops flailing. And let's go.
I should have put another shilling on.
I can cope with losing a couple for that. That was a good fight. Memo: don't let Ivan get his hands anywhere near anything I like to keep.
And while the healer rushes in to make sure that Greta isn't dead, Ivan is crouched somewhat on, head down, clearly out of breath. You know, his hands resting on his legs. He looks absolutely shattered.
Yeah, well, those things are heavy, and also, that's no mean feat. Doing the whole Terminator lift.
He's a big fella. To be fair, he actually reached down to pick her up in the first place. You know, he's, what did I say, 7 feet tall?
Yes.
He is a massive, massive fellow.
Okay. Yes, I will. I will
Say
cheer.
again, next demon we meet, I want him on our side.
Yeah, yeah. I can't argue with that. But he definitely needs a bit of a breather first. Just need to
After
risk it.
a surprised and stunned pause, there is once again applause from the audience. And Albrecht once again steps into the ring. Ladies and gents, you have just witnessed a wonderful thing. This is Greta's first defeat here in this arena.
Oh, she's going to take that personally.
Yes, Lenore, yes she is. And I suspect she'll want a rematch.
Mm.
We'll see how that pans out. Stick around, folks. We'll keep you posted as to when that rematch is going to be. I know I'd pay to see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for all our fighters this evening? Every one of them has put on a great show for you. Give them a round of applause, and then buy them a drink upstairs. They need it.
Stop it. You know fine well. It's edge of the seat. Grief.
Seat? Who's got a seat?
What are you sitting? Oh, never mind. I assumed you were sitting down. I keep forgetting.
As everyone's starting to head upstairs, Albrecht approaches you, Lenore.
Mm-hmm.
Very good fight.
Very short. Sorry it wasn't a better show.
Well, maybe next time we can give your opponent a chance.
Maybe. So, did you give me somebody squishy to start with?
No. I just gave him a weapon he's not used to.
Yes, it strikes me as more of a knife man.
He's a braggart.
Oh.
That's it. So, when I saw you...
With a card game.
When I saw you demonstrating the other day, I thought this would edge things in your favour a little. Maybe teach him a lesson.
Right. So you wanted me to give him a spanking.
Absolutely.
Okay. If he's so annoying, why do you let him fight? I mean, presumably he has some chops.
Oh yes. And he brings in a lot of people.
Ah, popular chap, I take it. Hope I haven't made any enemies by putting him on the ground.
Unlikely. They'll want to see a rematch.
That works for me. Possibly some different weaponry.
Absolutely. Something that favours
I
him
know
next
you
time.
don't particularly like me, but I do have to ask, what kind of an arrangement do you have with the better fighters? And is it possible to get Lenore in on it? I'm assuming that there is a cut of some of the profits on the betting.
Absolutely there is.
Couldn't help noticing that Ivan could have pulled that move a damn sight earlier, but if he had, a lot less bets would have been placed on Greta.
You're shrewd. But that was not planned. Ivan knows how to spin a fight, and he knows how it will work.
How long has he been fighting here?
A couple of weeks. Not long. He's got a knack for the fights. I like Ivan. He's got a knack for it. Sorry, say that again, Fish.
You turned into a Dalek.
Yeah, that's right. I completely lost night. I have no idea what he said.
I said if Ivan knows how to pull a fight, he knows how to spin the fights. I like him. He'll do well here.
So it's in your interest for the official arenas to stay shut as long as possible, yeah?
To a certain extent, yes. When they reopen, I shall follow the official lines. The fights will remain, just in a slightly different vein.
Fair enough.
I was
Okay.
legit before the arena shut down. I'll be legit when they open up again.
Okay. Have you had anyone go missing from here?
Couple, yeah.
No sign, I take it. Vanished without trace.
Just didn't turn up to the next scheduled fight.
This disappearing fighter thing worries me. I mean, obviously.
Hmm.
It worries you. This is my income we're talking about. You think I'm not worried?
Do you think it's not mine?
Of course, I just do it for the love of the art. Yes.
Well, the love of the art and the love of coin, I suspect.
Yes. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I need a /s at the end of that sentence.
I've always found that the art on coins is very nice.
Also
Ever
true.
on a mini sculpture?
Absolutely.
So, and this is, I will bid him farewell, and then take Lenore by the elbow. Not Lenore, sorry, Brunhilde by the elbow.
I know what you meant.
Yeah. Is the plan here to try and get me kidnapped?
I hope not. But it would possibly be a way of finding out. Important point though, Knight. I didn't know. I don't know what the odds were. How much did I make on betting on Iran?
Ah! You got a whopping two crowns and 10 shillings profit.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
God. Okay, that was expensive for me.
Clearly, Greta was the favourite going into that fight.
Obviously. Thank you, Iran.
Very.
Now I might have enough money to fund a new set of leaflets.
And before we go too much further, I need to take an away break for a little comfort moment, and to refill my drink. And I suspect if anyone else is around and has been here since the start, they should probably be in need of another drink too. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And if either Fish or Drut is sticking around for a few, I'm sure they'll be able to field questions if you guys have any.
Yes,
I will
please
hang
feel
around
free.
and answer some questions. If
Yep.
there are. I will then disappear. Otherwise, I will disappear in a moment. But yeah. How are we doing? That's a good question.
I'll let you explain, Fish. Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Do you want to
We
go?
approached this town with no specific goal, other than the fact that the character background we've established is largely that Lenore gets the fighting gigs up until now in official circles, sometimes as a judicial champion fighting in trial by combat type stuff, sometimes in demonstration bouts. And while she is fighting, Erdit Corel, our elven companion, does the betting, and Brunhilde works the crowd because she is an agitator. She's effectively a social activist. So she works the crowd, A, spreading the news about her various goals, and B, trying to get money from people to pay for her lifestyle and activities. It's not, she actually genuinely means it. Brunhilde. She is trying to better the lot of the masses, but that takes money, so she's trying to gather money, fundraising essentially, and using Lenore as an advantage. So when we got here, we found that the official arenas had closed down because of the disappearance of several fighters. That was the first mystery that turned up, so we were thinking, hello, we're going to look into that. So that's why we find if there were fights still going on and get Lenore involved, so we can try and figure out what was going on. So that's what this is about. The other mystery that turned up was at our inn. Somebody broke into the inn and kidnapped the innkeeper's daughter. And when they did so, they left outside what appeared to be an incorrect or fake summoning circle.
Yeah.
Number of human hearts, which is where we came in at the start of this session with a demon attacking us. Now, we'd been working on the principle that it was a fake summoning circle and that the whole thing was a con. That led us to a local crime boss who allegedly threatens people with demons if they don't pay up. And we were pretty certain it wasn't him. We visited him, had words, pointed out to him that we thought someone was trying to frame him for this kidnapping by using his shtick.
Yeah.
We may have misread that. If we did misread that, that might be why a demon then turned up. It could have been him who sent a demon after us, and that the original maybe still was fake. Or we could have been completely wrong about the original and there really were demons involved. We still don't know. So there's at least two mysteries. It's what's happening to the fighters and who kidnapped the innkeeper's daughter, why, and are they really somebody's demons? The two may be connected, we don't know yet.
We do have one potential piece of information as to the why, which is the colour of the eyes. The girl has lavender colour eyes.
As does Lenore.
As does Lenore. Yeah, that worries me. And we have, with the help of a local scholar, discovered a book which seems to refer to people with that eye colour being used in blood magic in order to facilitate evil doings.
There is some folklore about magic connected not to people with those eyes doing the magic, but being used by others to facilitate their own magic. So that would make sense with the real demon attack. That's why she's been kidnapped. But it does mean that if Lenore now gets kidnapped, we won't know if she's been kidnapped because they want to empower a magical ritual with her, or if because she's been kidnapped because she's a good fighter. It could be either one at this stage. We're a little bit spoiled for mysteries.
Yes, indeed.
Confused.
.com.
There's also the matter of the map. The sewer map.
The map. Yeah.
Yes. A gentleman went missing from the inn the same night as the little girl whose disappearance went missing. We discovered him half drowned in the sewers, and that is exactly as unpleasant as you may think. And he was researching, he's a historian who was researching a map basically of the sewers and the secret accesses across the city.
Yes.
That was Hibbert. Yeah.
Hibbert.
So the city of Middenheim, if you look on my screen, can you see it? Yeah. It's actually the wallpaper for Fantasy Grounds that we're using, but it's focused on the map of the city at the moment. You can see that it looks like it's on a mountain. You can see all the rock face around it. That's because it is on a mountain. It's a incredibly high, effectively a tabletop mountain. So a mile high above the surrounding forest is Middenheim. The only ways into it are via cable car or some very, very long roads. When it was built by dwarves who mined into it and then up, because they didn't have a cable car when they first got there. Once the city was established, the Graf in charge of the city at the time then ordered all the mine tunnels to be collapsed so that the only ways in and out of the city were the ways that could be watched and guarded. It's rumoured that not all of those were collapsed, or that some have been reopened, or possibly that others have been mined out since, but that there are underground ways into the city, which is what this chap Hibbert was investigating.
Right.
So, yes, we have a number of mysteries here, all of which seem to have found their way to this particular group of characters.
Yeah. We are drowning in mysteries. Not enough solutions yet. And the sewers, indeed.
Which is where being a couple of characters down is awkward, because that also means we're a couple of brains down for unravelling mysteries.
Yes.
And mysteries are always better unravelled with more people.
Especially since I keep having to brain switch into solving a mystery rather than creating one.
But yeah, which is an interesting switch for Drut, because normally Drut's creating the mysteries that Fish and I are solving, or trying to.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, feel free to help. Feel free to lump in there.
Oh, yeah.
Always helpful. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages of doing this with an audience. The audience can pipe in with stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
we've met Anne-Marie, who is working for the crime boss.
Yeah. Now, I
Yep.
want to have another word with Anne-Marie.
Mm-hmm.
It's Anna
Which shouldn't
Maria.
be difficult because she's-
Anne-Marie, sorry.
It shouldn't be difficult because she's following us. That's not sensible.
Yes.
So, I'm wondering whether we can slip her a few shekels to find a few like-minded youngsters and maybe get them to follow these fighters for a couple of days.
Ah.
Those that we think most likely to be nabs, which definitely includes Ivan, Greta, and possibly Wilhelm.
Yeah, I think Johann's probably completely safe.
Yeah. We got Johann and Victor who lost today.
Hmm.
So that seems to make them less likely targets from what we've heard.
Yeah, Johann's a braggart. I would imagine he puts his reputation around to be much bigger than it is.
But this does also mean that he will put his reputation around. So with the official fights closed, he's going to be the easiest one to find.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he isn't nabbed yet, so maybe they don't want.
So yes, okay. Let's do that as a priority then.
So you're
Got a few
effectively looking to
shillings.
craft a version of the Baker Street Irregulars.
Yeah, we're after the Butcher's Road unevens.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that, Uptown. I played Forza for the first time yesterday, and the first thing I did was turn the radio off.
Ah.
The second thing I did was realize I can't drive.
Fair enough.
So, I have currently got, courtesy of our evening's entertainment, shall we say,
You've done quite well out of tonight.
71 shillings. I've got some gold crowns as well, and some pennies, but let's just look at the 71 shillings as our war fund here. I don't think it will cost anything like that to get somebody followed. So we might be able to offer maybe 10 shillings for each of the 3 fighters we're interested in being followed for a couple of days. And if nothing happens within a couple of days, we will be rethinking anyway.
Yeah.
So that would still leave us a decent amount of money left over if we went with something along those lines. And I think 10 shillings is a decent lump for a young entrepreneur. For
It seems
not
like
much to do.
it does indeed seem that.
I mean, food per day is 3 to 7 shillings.
Yeah.
So we'd effectively be paying, if we say that's for 2 days, we'd be paying living expenses for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a massive amount of money, but it's how do I live for the next 2 days? Well, okay, I've got that income. Anything else I get is bonus. My food is paid for 2 days. So I don't think it's an unreasonable level.
Yeah. And yes, I need to go to.
Cost-wise, it's equivalent of buying them a bottle of booze each.
So depending on who you're looking to get to do the job, you've got 2 options of pitching it to them.
This is true. Okay. Yes, I need to visit a carpenter in order to get a new handle to my flail.
Yeah.
Yep.
Repaired.
Yeah.
God, no, broke your own flail.
Yes, I'm going to. Well, at least it didn't fly off with it.
It's her new combat-orientated trader character. Break me own flail diddler.
Ouch. God, how much is the time?
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
it does indeed. Yes. Now I'm just wondering about we can get this sorted, but if we're going to go into any deeper analysis and things, it would be nice to have Kikiki/Jik
Yep,
around because we need more people to bounce stuff off.
that's fine. Don't
But
panic.
yeah, definitely, I think Brunhilde leads the way for tracking down Anna Maria.
Well, I think that largely consists of leaving the inn and looking around to see if I can spot her. She's improved, and I can't.
It was her I caught attempting to. No, I went jumped down off the rooftop onto
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
she was following Brunhilde,
Yeah.
not ostensibly not on orders from the petty, but
No.
on behalf of the petty, um, hoping to make a name for herself by finding out that we were up to something
Yeah.
and earning some credit as a result. As a result of that encounter, because we spotted her, I lured her into an alley and you jumped on her.
Yeah.
And
That is pretty much how it happened.
Yeah.
yeah, there's a little bit more to it than that because I lured her very badly into an alley. But
I nipped down the
that was
next alley,
essentially,
climbed over a rooftop, and then jumped on her.
yeah. But we then had words with her, and essentially we said that she was allowed to follow us if she let us know if she saw anyone else follow us.
Yep.
And we also said that if she had any useful information that she came up with, then we would give her a few coins for it.
Yep.
So hopefully she is still following us around at this point.
And
Do you reckon-
given that you know that she's following you, and she knows that you know that she's following you,
Yeah.
she's not necessarily being as discreet as she would once have tried to.
Yeah. But it was also phrased, I mean, whether she took it that way, I'm not sure, but Brunhilde certainly presented it as she clearly needed to practice shadowing people because we'd spotted her. So she was allowed to practice on us if she let us know if she saw anyone else.
As you step out of the bloody tusk, you can see her leaning up against a wall across the street.
I'm going to discreetly sort of wave a little bit, point to a nearby alley, and then amble off and duck into.
Yeah, she heads off in a different direction, but after a minute or so joins you from the other end of the alley.
Into the alley. Okay.
Presumably she saw the fight. The
Depends on
demon.
whether she followed us in. Oh, the demon fight. She was certainly seeing. Yeah.
Interesting to see what kind of state she's in.
Hello.
Good evening. Okay.
First off, I mean, I can see the answer really, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you all right?
Well, wouldn't that be?
Did you not see what happened before we come here?
No.
Oh, right, then. Now to worry about then, you obviously missed it. There was a little bit of a to-do when we were leaving Grey Lord. And I was just wanted to be sure that you were okay, that you didn't get mixed up in it anyway. Second thing,
Didn't catch that at all.
on the fact that you didn't catch that, I will admit, does make me less confident about the second subject I want to talk to you about. But we were wondering whether you might know any other young people who perhaps might want to earn a few shillings following some people for us.
I could think of a couple of people, yeah. Who have you got in mind?
There's some fighters fighting in this place, the back there where we've just come from, the Bloody Tusk.
Yeah, the fight. I know the fight scene there.
Yeah, you've heard, no doubt, that fighters have been disappearing of late.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we're nosy because we're trying to see if we can figure out what's going on. and we've got a short list of the people we think might be most likely to get targeted next. So
Oh,
we were wondering about whether you could find some people just to follow them for a couple of days. If nothing's happened, then we'll have to rethink. But just maybe get us some information if something does happen to one of them.
I can help with that. Yes. Yeah, I know a few young people who would be eager to assist.
Okay, we've got a limited budget, I'm afraid. We only want them following for a couple of days, and we can do 10 shillings for each of the 3 fighters that we want followed.
That's about the number I had in mind.
That sounds lovely then. Lenore, what were the names again that we wanted? There was
It was Ivan, Greta,
well, I don't
and
know.
Wilhelm.
Do we want to bother with Ivan? I suppose, yeah, we better bother with Ivan, and we. I'm just thinking he's in the same place as us, but we're not always there. So
No.
Ivan, who's staying at the Grey Lord where we are, so he's nice and easy to find. Greta, I don't know where to find Greta, but she's got a reputation, so it's difficult. Do you know who?
Yeah, she fights at the Bloody Tusk.
Fights at the Bloody Tusk.
Big lady.
Wins a lot, apparently.
Well,
And
undefeated champion.
Undefeated champion till today.
Wilhelm.
And this chap Wilhelm, yeah, used to be in the Watch apparently. So a watchman called Wilhelm, who's now a fighter, shouldn't be too difficult for people with your connections to identify. I
Not at all. I know all 3 of the people you're talking about.
Lovely. I shall count out 35 shillings.
Okay. It's more money than I've
I'm
got.
going to trust you. I'm going to pay you up front and let you arrange it all.
Okay.
There's 5 extra there for yourself,
Thank you.
for your help, because you are being helpful. We'd have to do a lot of running around to organise this ourselves. It's worth a finder's fee. And as I said, anything useful that you can find us, not directly related to what we're already paying for, there's potentially more in it. So I've got to find some more money first.
Potentially more in it. I think we have a deal.
And, anything you can bring us that we don't already know about that's going to be useful, I will see what I could figure out. Somehow we'll find some coin. If nothing else, I'll just get her to beat somebody else up. Well,
Yes.
Well, in that case, I'll go and arrange your workload, and I won't be following you back to the Grey Lord.
Obviously, you'll be busy.
Very. You've just given me a lot of work to do.
There's one other thing, just a question. When we went to see your boss, we did so partly as a result of rumour, I suppose, would be word.
Rumour? What sort of rumour?
Yeah, rumour. We heard a rumour that he apparently, as part of his tactics for putting some leverage on people to make sure that he gets what they owe him, makes references to the potential use of creatures not of this world.
This is a joke, right? You're trying to spook me out or make me get jittery.
This is the rumour that we've heard, and I just wondered whether there was anything in it.
No. No.
Yeah, Lenore, by the way, has taken up a position behind your shoulder, which seems to be her standard when you're talking at people. Puts me in a position to push you aside.
As far as you know, it's. I mean, nonsense makes sense.
Exactly.
Okay. What? No, it doesn't. Nonsense does not make sense. That's the whole point of nonsense.
That it would be nonsense. No.
Oh.
She's not overly smart, is she?
Yeah.
Then again, she's the fighting one.
With a native tongue, you'd think you were a foreigner. Says the foreigner.
The grin through gritted teeth.
They're not gritted. They're free and able to fight. Hmm. I'll let it go this time.
Oh, you know where to find us. If you need anything or if you've got anything for us.
And if you don't know where to find us, what are we paying you for?
Oh, I know where to find you. You're at the Grey Lord.
Right.
That's why I don't bother following you all the way there. I know where you're going.
Okay. So what do we do now?
I think we go back to the Grey Lord and we sleep.
That sounds a radical concept. Probably not a bad one.
Well, you go back to the Grey Lord and sleep. I'll go and start finding some people to track and follow these people you're interested in. And I'll probably see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Anna Maria.
A pleasure.
Yes.
We'll head off back to the Grey Lord then.
You've travelled no more than maybe 2 or 3 house widths
When this time 2 demons appear.
before a blood-curdling scream and gurgle fills the night sky.
Right. I suppose we better turn around and head in the direction of the blood-curdling scream and gurgle at speed.
Yes, yes. I think that sounds like an excellent idea.
Obviously drawing my mace as we go, for all the good that is done.
Yep, going with my sword.
Okay.
Well,
You
two-handed.
tear off back in the direction of the bloody tusk, and find yourself in an alleyway behind it.
We wasted our money.
In the alleyway, there is a body lying on the ground. But as you're approaching the alleyway, you see the body, and you see up in the distance something flying away that's roughly man-sized.
Oh. Buggering it.
Really? Oh, God.
Okay,
Okay.
got the body.
Yeah. Who is it?
It is Victor.
Oh,
Now, I had discounted Victor as not being important enough for them to bother, but
Victor is a very much bloody mess. It looks like his throat has been ripped out. And there's also a cavity in his chest.
our
oh,
previous mystery regarding the fighters, they were disappearing, not turning up.
yeah.
They were disappearing,
Right.
yes. Not turning up dead and dismembered. This guy's clothing has been torn apart. There's blood everywhere. And literally his chest has been pulled open. And what should be there is not.
Yeah, I think we can pretty much guess what could have done this.
Yes, I'm going to take a wild stab, and I'm going to write next to Victor's name in my notes, killed by demon. Not really
Yeah.
a big leap of intuition, I feel.
Yes, he's had a cardiectomy.
Yeah.
Was he alone?
It would appear so, yes.
Right.
Like I suggest that we
And now you can hear footsteps.
Yes. Yeah. Round the block.
Yes. Let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Let's get the hell out of Dodge and then come back round and rejoin the crowd.
Can I have an
and see
athletics
who
roll,
shot.
please?
Get to the other shepherd.
Let's get the flock out of here. Yeah, Fish. Round the block, rejoin the crowd, see who's shot.
Athletics rolls.
If there's anybody in the crowd secretly going,
Yeah.
First off, athletics rolls to outrun the people that are running to the sound.
Okay.
Those of you that have a suitable athletics, I think it's athletics.
Oh, don't be foolish.
I don't have any suitable skills, but everything's done on ability checks, of course.
Yeah.
So this would be
Fleet-footed?
this would be a move ability check.
I mean, would it be a move check or dex or initiative, something along those lines?
There's nothing really dexterous about running as fast as possible to do a lap of the block.
Yeah, I would say possibly just a straight move.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that roll on? Because that's...
Okay,
Multiply by 10 the roll
policy in this
percentile.
edition was that you would multiply, for the single figure values, you'd multiply them by 10 and then roll a percentage.
So if you've got a move of 4, you're looking for 40
In
or
my
less.
case, I've got a 30% and will fail it horribly.
Yeah. I have a 40.
Oh, yeah, by miles.
Oh boy.
Okay, I
26.
jog slowly round the block, wheezing along.
I, however, am able to distance myself
Yeah.
at
The
26.
lift with great speed can.
Yeah.
No.
But that works out okay because person who could have done it
Yeah. Nobody has
is
ever
out of sight.
sight.
No, you'd need a step ladder, a very large mallet, and a
And
chisel you could hold in your teeth.
And possibly some chemicals to render the fighter that she would be taking on.
Look, her legs aren't long enough.
So yes, I will proceed with my suggestion. I will loop back round.
Okay.
I'll catch up if I catch up, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
Right.
hope in the meantime, if I'm lagging too far behind and people are beginning to turn up, I'll just turn round and come at it from this direction, going, oh, what's happened?
Yeah. So you're doing the whole, oh wow, what is going on?
If running doesn't work,
Which is indeed what does happen. So as you get to the end of the alleyway, Brunhilde, you can now see people closing up on the end of the alleyway that you're at.
Right, so yeah, I'll
So
get
it's-
to the end of the alleyway then, and I will wave to the people I can see closing, and yell, come quick!
Meanwhile, around the other end of the alleyway, Lenore, you are you sort of filter in with probably about halfway down the pack of people that are running this way. It seems like everyone that had exited the pub has heard the sound and is coming back. So you've gone silent again, Drup.
Yeah. As people get to the alley, I'm going to point a quivering hand to Victor's body and say, I daren't look, is he dead?
I'm going to mingle with the crowd,
Okie doke.
but I'm looking more at the crowd than I am at the body because I know he's dead. And he's still dead. And he's staying dead.
Oh yeah, there's no chance of him getting up without the assistance of a necromancer.
No, yeah, I mean, God, who would think a necromancer would be around? I mean, it's not like there's demonologists. Oh, hang on.
No necromancers and demonologists in this town.
No. Good law-abiding town, this.
Right, you and the poor victim are the only fighters present. None of the other people that were fighting that evening are there.
Oh.
You recognise most of the people in the crowd from the audience.
Right.
And the one guy that was performing the role of healer is also there. And sort of pushes his way through. Let me through. Let me see. As soon as he gets a good eye on the body, he reaches down, closes the poor victim's eyes. There is nothing I can do for him.
Closes his chest.
Just pulls his jacket closed. Away you go. How does everybody else in the crowd seem to be reacting?
At first, they're just trying to work out what the guy's doing on the floor. As soon as they're aware that he's dead, there is shock and surprise all round. Who did it? Why would they kill him? We should get the watch.
Yes, I think that's an excellent idea. Anyone react really badly to me saying that?
No,
Probably half the crowd.
no one reacts really badly to you saying that. There's a guy lying on the floor with his throat ripped out and his chest open with bits missing from it.
Fair play.
I just thought that half of this sort of crowd would be likely to not want the watch around even under these circumstances.
Chances are half of them won't be here when the watch turn up.
Yeah, including me, given a choice.
Well, I've been wanting to get the watch involved. But unfortunately, not for this one. Not for this case. I want to get them involved with the girl.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately,
it
a
looks
missing
like there
girl.
is a connection between the two. I mean, we thought
Does.
that there may well be, but we didn't have anything to. It was just we thought that there may well be, not that we had evidence there may well be. But we do now appear to have a demonic slaying
Yeah.
the myth of the disappearing fighters side of things.
All those hearts.
So,
All the parts, and
so
now
love,
there's
you,
just
you
another one.
you want to get the watch? Go get him. Go.
I have no idea where the local watch HQ is. I don't come from here.
Well, you're a fat lot good, aren't you? Guy dead on the floor and you can't even go and get the watch.
No speak right spiel.
Yes, I'm going to start saying everything terribly slowly and loudly.
The healer then picks on some other random bod from the gathered throng. You go get the watch. She's useless.
Right.
And once one person's off running for the watch, the crowd starts to thin out.
Yeah, there's a shocker. Where's who's the chap who runs this
Alberic.
place?
He's not there.
Brunhilde is going to thin with the crowd, but she's not going to go too far. Because
Okay.
so long as Lenore's here, she can't really leave.
No,
She doesn't want to actually be a part of the crowd when the watch arrives.
Alberic. Where are the rest of the fighters? Are they here? Have they gone home?
Alberic isn't here in the crowd. He's
No, this is asking the crowd.
Oh, asking the healer.
If the healer's still here.
Healer,
then
yeah, the healer's
Yeah.
the one that said to some
Yeah.
random bod to go get the
Yeah.
yeah.
Why was Victor out here alone?
We were all finished up and leaving. I don't know what he was doing here.
Huh. Is Alberic still inside?
Hey, he's probably cashing up.
I'll wait for him in there. I'm going to act like I own the place and walk into the inn.
Okay. As you walk in, he's got his back to the door and just barks out, "We're closed. See yourself out."
I know you're closed. Did you know Victor is dead and dismembered on your doorstep?
Lenore. Then he turns around. What?
First bout, losing fighter.
I know
Idiot.
who he is.
Well, yes, is not the term. Was is the correct term. Somebody's ripped his throat out. Literally, gone. Big hole. Oh, and his heart. Deliberately describing it in as matter of fact and shocking a method as I can because I want to try and rattle him.
He looks rattled.
Was he just here? Was he drinking in here?
So were you. So was everyone else. He was.
Yeah, nobody tried to rip my heart out. Wait.
I'm glad
the
of
last
that.
half hour or so.
You could be a good money maker for me.
So did he have any enemies? You know, outside the ring?
He's a fighter. They make enemies. But
Proper enemies, not, you know,
I don't know.
dancing around each other enemies.
not that I know.
Well, you may wish to know that the watch has been sent for.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Just, wouldn't like to ruin a good thing before we really got going. But still, a little bit disconcerting. Are any of the others who were here this evening, any of the other performers who were here this evening, still around?
Everyone's gone. Just you and me.
Right. Good. Good to know. Yeah, as I said, watch coming soon. So, obviously you know your business.
Appreciate the heads up.
Yes, I shall be seeing you then, and keeping my eyes open for people with really nasty, ripping, hacking weapons, I suppose.
Yeah. Sounds.
I mean, to
Nasty.
be honest, judging by the state of the poor man, if it wasn't, at heart level, I'd have said it was some kind of animal, but it's not likely to be anything like that, is it?
Well,
I mean, you don't
maybe
have
someone
particularly
got
wild beasts here.
maybe someone got annoyed at putting their money on the wrong fighter.
That's a really, really big level of annoyance.
It happens. People get addicted to gambling. Finally got
Could be.
nothing left. But everything on one last surefire win and lose it. It happens. I've seen it happen.
I don't suppose anybody did that this evening, did they?
They tend not to shout about it when they do.
Fair
Because
point.
if they do, I kick them out.
True. Right. Okay, well, it's getting late and really ought to be getting back to my lodgings.
And I need to get finishing up the cashing up.
Yes.
And I'll lock the door this time.
Yes. Okay, I'll head out and collar. Look around until I see a shorter shadow than normal.
Yeah, as you step out, you hear once the door's shut, you hear the bolts drawn across behind you.
Yeah, he's going to want to protect and clean up and make it so that the watch don't notice what he got going on in his cellar.
But he
Yeah.
he definitely did look rattled at the news that you gave him.
Yeah, that's annoying. I'd hoped it was him.
As the door closes behind you, you hear the bolts being driven home and the beeping sound of him setting the alarm.
Beep, beep.
Okay, I'm going to collar Brunhilde. Much though I'd like...
Brunhilde is a couple of streets away, sort of waiting for you. Trying to be directly involved in what's going on.
I would like the watch involved in what's going on at the Grey Lord, but I'm not sure that this is the time to tie them in.
No, I would agree with you on your reticence there.
Yeah. Do we stay on watch, or do we leave?
I don't know there's anything else to learn here, is there? What did you get from Albrecht?
He's shocked and horrified. Thinks it could be somebody who was perhaps lost the house on this chap. Personally seems unlikely. I can't imagine anybody betting the house on him.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody thought that they had inside information,
Yeah.
The odds are against him, so you make a lot of money. So you
This
put
is
it
it.
on it, get a huge return, but
Yeah. He was a long way from a sure thing.
Seems an odd choice. Plus, do we really think that a demonic entity bet the house on him? Because we clearly saw something with wings.
Yes.
This was not the passerby.
No.
This was not an annoyed gambler. This was a demon.
No. An annoyed gambler who is capable of resourcing a demon summonation is not somebody who's going to be losing enough money to be bothered about in a little dive like this.
Yeah, not so much somebody bet the house on him as no, somebody bet the evil dark citadel on him. And I don't think that's happened.
No. Back to the Grey Lord.
Back to the Grey Lord.
And hope that our little watch people are able to keep track of the others.
Yeah, well, at least we didn't waste any money because we weren't paying anyone to watch Victor.
No.
Or we did waste all of our money because we're paying them to watch the wrong people.
Well, we could at least eliminate.
But it was supposed to be the best fighters, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the good fighters who'd gone missing.
This is a change in pattern. This is very much a change in pattern.
Yeah.
I mean, disappearing rather than being killed. This one was just killed in street. I wonder whether we changed the pattern.
What, by buggering up their summonation?
Oh, to be precise, you changed the pattern.
Well, I wasn't about to just let it, kill people.
No, absolutely not, especially when the people were up.
It might have been in the interest of doing a swoop and steal. There's been no mention of people vanishing and big piles of blood left.
You know, are we sure that demon will come in after
Oh, God.
us? What if it were late? Ivan has already left.
Had. It could have been coming for Ivan. Also, what's her face? Starts with Neff. At the inn.
What's the face of the never the inn?
Yeah, the one who announced that we needed to clean up our mess after the fight.
No,
Ludvika?
Was it Ludvika?
That was Ludvika.
Sorry, what did I say? F?
I don't know.
I don't know. This cold caps is creeping up on me now. It was Ludvika. Clearly knows more than she's telling about demons in general. Seemed significantly the opposite of shocked. So
There was much to ponder, my gangly friend.
we need to do it over a drink and some sleep.
We do. We've got enough money left after paying off Anna Maria and her friends to buy some drink at least.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, I think head back to the inn, and unless somebody actively tries to kill us en route.
Let me just check that random monster table.
Well, this is Middenheim. This is the only city in the Empire for which encounter tables were published.
Yes.
It is, yes. However, you do get back to the Grey Lord unaccosted. When you get there, the drops of blood and other unpleasantness from your scrap have indeed been cleared up.
She's good. I'll give her that.
When you get inside, Ivan is already there, being tended to by Matilda. He's got a shiner of a black eye. He's got his hands in a big bowl of water, and she's dabbing a cut on his arm. And
You didn't pick that up during the fight, surely?
no,
What happened?
What happened?
4 people attacked me on the way back.
I'm guessing they bet on Greta.
Did not ask.
They just beat the crap out of you.
Just ordinary looking people. You know, they weren't maybe all wearing black with masks or out like that.
They were in black, yes.
Okay.
So could have been a kidnap squad.
Did they say what they wanted?
They did not say anything.
They didn't say anything.
Well, that wasn't annoyed gamblers. They'd have said something.
Yeah. Were they trying to knock you down, or were they trying to kill you?
I think they were trying to knock me out. One of them
Kidnap
had
squad.
a funny smelling thing in their head.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, that
Kidnap.
squad, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I think I knew Victor's a totally different thing.
We've got people kidnapping fighters. And we've got a dead fighter with his heart ripped out.
So,
You what?
2 possibilities. As to
Victor, first bout, dead.
No, he survived the fight.
Oh, yes.
He got killed afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah, got his heart ripped out. Very nasty. 2 possibilities as to what happened to Victor. My accent's gone.
Mhm.
mine's all over the place anyway.
Your accent has wandered completely. It's now like Lancashire
Yeah, I don't
heading
know.
down towards Manchester. I'm not sure what the hell's going on.
Yeah. No, my accent went completely there. I do apologize. I need to try and get it back.
Yeah, Auntie Francis.
Reed. Luke.
Reed.
Reed. Hi, what's wrong with Reed?
Nothing. If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you. Sorry, what were you saying?
Aye. Two possibilities, as I see it, as to what happened to Victor. One, you killed a demon, so they needed a heart in a hurry, so they could summon another one.
I imagine that Victor's face, Ivan's face, sorry, is basically.
Pretty much, yes.
Two,
They have wings.
they failed to kidnap Ivan, so they needed another heart in a hurry, because they didn't.
You know, Ivan?
Either one of them events could have triggered the out of the ordinary attack on Victor that didn't go according to plan. I mean, if Ivan took care of their normal kidnap squad, they would have had to send something else. And what did they have to hand? Well, they had a demon. Yes,
Who has a demon kicking around?
They're the sorts of people that kidnap people to rip their hearts out and use them in demon summoning rituals.
Fair point. I suppose if you've got one.
Presumably, the fighter angle is somewhat along the line of needing strong hearts to summon stronger demons.
Otherwise, certainly the one that came after us, I think, would have gone straight for you. You're, frankly, the easier target if it wants to swoop and leave.
Well, that's assuming that they were coming after us needing a heart. I think more likely they were coming after us because we were investigating what's going on and it was an attempt to get rid of it. They didn't expect us to kill it, so that they then need to summon a replacement, which of course is going to need more hearts.
Yeah, that's a problem.
There's a knock at the door.
I think the kidnapping might just pick up at this point.
I suppose I'd better open it because nobody else seems to be.
Well, Ivan's kind of sat there being tended to by by Matilda.
Yeah.
There's no sign of where the Davika or Ezio or any of the others are.
I'll open
Presumably
the door.
they're asleep. You open the door initially, and then it's not till you look down that you realise that there's someone at the door.
I'm used to this though.
Oh yeah, you used to look at Brunhilde. It's not a halfling, it's a human kid, maybe 10, 12 years old.
Hello, little urchin.
Are you Anna Maria's friends?
Come in. Yes.
Good, she did tell me to the right place. Yeah, so she asked me to look at someone for you. Now she gets me to do a lot of jobs around town for her, and this was a bit different. Normally it's, can you get me one of these? Can you get this? Can you get that? This time it was, follow this chap, see where he goes, what he does, and well, I thought he was getting mugged. Because there was 4 of them and 1 of him. But
This chap.
they bundled it. No, it wasn't him. It was. Blimey, he's big.
Yeah.
Right.
Focus over here. Right.
Sorry, yeah.
4 people mugging.
Yeah, there was 4 of them. They got this guy, an older guy.
Wilhelm.
That's him. Yeah, Wilhelm, the guy that used to be in the watch.
Aye, that was.
I thought they were mugging him or just doing him over, but they dragged him down in the sewers. Now I'm not going to go down the sewers and follow where it goes, so I can't tell you where they took him. I've got no idea. I'm not going down there. It's horrible.
Understand.
But they took him down in the sewers. 4 of them there were.
I think you're right, Brunhilde. We've got 2 threads.
Toss the kid a silver shilling. I know we've already
Thank you, miss.
that Anna Maria actually paid him.
You know, there is another thing. Now you come to mention it. This kid says, looking at this silver shilling.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting money. I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
The 4 of them. 2 of them were blokes, but the other 2 were women. Now
Equal opportunity cultists.
they were all dressed in like dark clothes, but they were definitely 2 men and definitely 2 women, and definitely all human. Well, there might have been elves, possibly, but no, I reckon they were human.
Huh.
Ivan, fellas
Yes.
that attacked you, all fellas, right?
I did not pay attention. I do not think so.
Come. Same
Your-
team.
Your attackers, you laid them all out, right?
Yes,
You kill any of them?
I do not kill
Right, okay.
intentionally.
So numbers haven't been
Wiggle room.
thinned out then.
No.
Lad, what's your name?
Bob, sir.
Bob. Bob.
Bob.
Definitely,
It's short
definitely
for
wanna kill
Bob.
Bob. How long ago did this happen?
This was a bit ago. It took me a little while to get my way here because there's the watches all over the place down there now. Had to dodge the watch. Never seen them in so many numbers. You'd think someone got killed.
That would be terrible.
It was a good while ago.
Which sewer entrance?
It was one of the north ones, just on the very edge of the sector, the district. Yeah. It's, any further and you've been to one of the posher areas?
Gotcha. Yeah,
Just trying to work out
that's...
whether it's two different teams.
The ones who kidnapped this Wilhelm, did they look like they'd been in the fight already?
Well, this is why I was trying to figure out the timing, whether they might have grabbed Wilhelm, then gone for Ivan. Ivan, how long ago were you attacked?
Not too long.
Yeah, they could have been. They could have grabbed
Yeah.
Wilhelm first and then gone to Ivan.
Yeah.
Or it could be two different teams. Makes a difference, see, whether they've got 4 subs in black or 8.
Or at least 8.
Matilda turned around to look at you while you're asking Ivan how long he'd been here. I'd only been tending his wounds for maybe just 5 or 10 minutes before you arrived.
Wilhelm first, then.
So it could be. Yeah, it's still, well, you see, all that does is not prove it wasn't the same team. Still doesn't prove it was the same team.
Can
But
we be
you have to
optimistic?
operate on the assumption that there are probably at least 8 of them.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to.
I suppose we can be optimistic and hope there's only 4, but assume 8.
But yeah, plan for 8 at least. 8 and a demon.
Yes. Can't forget the demon.
Yeah, there was one other thing. But you know, it's I might need help cleaning up the memory.
My go. I'll give another shilling.
Thanks, miss. Pockets a shilling, and then sort of reaches into his jacket. One of them dropped this. It's an empty glass bottle, small, sort of glass vial, technically, I suppose.
Oh. So,
It's called in this.
Matilda, how does that compare to the one that I showed you earlier?
Well, it looks very similar. May I?
Certainly.
She takes the vial, takes the cork off, sticks her finger inside to look at the residue. That is a concoction that would certainly knock someone out with very little resistance.
Victor. Wilhelm. Hibat. Ivan. And a little girl.
Yeah, for some reason I don't have a note of the little girl's name.
Sophia.
Sophia, that was it.
The silver-haired, purple-eyed little girl.
I made it.
These must have things in common. But so far, all I'm getting is the sewers. We need Hibat's map. There's a thought, Actaeon. How common is it, Matilda, to to be able to obtain this sort of thing? I mean, is it something any healer would have in their kit? Is it something you'd only have for nefarious purposes?
Some surgeons may use it to render a patient unconscious for certain procedures, but it's not the sort of thing that one would find at an apothecary. You would, however, find the components to make it at an apothecary.
Makes sense.
But outside of a surgeon's operating area, you would not find it in common use or common availability at all. It would be made.
This is an organised group. They're going to have their own
Yeah.
apothecary or whatever to make this stuff. They're just going to need the material. I don't know. We've got a lot more information, but it doesn't really point to anything.
I think we need Hibart's map of the sewers. He wasn't Compos Mentis before.
I think I don't know. I'm wondering whether we got things a bit backward with regard to Dark and his map. We thought that they were after him because they wanted the map, right?
They want somebody else not to have the map, however.
I think that's more likely. I think they're already using sewers.
Yeah.
Based on this information, they're kidnapping people and taking them down sewers straight
Yeah.
away. So they already know the routes in the sewers. The last thing they want is somebody else poking around down there with a map.
That's why I think we need his map, because that might point us to where they're likely to be and the routes they're using.
Aye. So
Which
we can possibly get it.
Yeah. So it could be in with all his papers. But he was unconscious last time we spoke to him.
You did have a rifle through his papers when you brought him back, and you didn't find anything of interest then.
No.
But you weren't specifically looking for a map last time.
Sorry, what was the time scale on Hibart likely to be any use to us? Matilda was attending.
Matilda was attending. He's sleeping heavily through the night again. Previously, when you asked, she said a couple of days before he's with it enough. So, timeline-wise, that would be tomorrow morning-ish, or tomorrow daytime.
I think we need to have a chat with him in the morning. And yes, possibly the healer out of the fight ring is a person to look at. If nothing else, they'd know who the fighters were. Right. I think we may have done what we can, and we need a conflab in the morning with Hibart and the rest of the party.
Yes, I would definitely like to get the other two's input on this.
And we need to secure the Grey Lord. We need to make sure that all the doors and windows are locked and barred.
Yeah.
They've tried once for Ivan. They might try again.
They might have tried twice for Ivan.
Yeah.
I know the deal was for you to follow this fella for 2 days.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not going to happen. But I'm not going to ask for a refund. The money's yours.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Thank you, miss.
You've done grand. Thank you for the information. If you see anything else you think might be connected, if you see any of the people that you saw kidnap him again, anything you can find out, we'll pay for. If you spot one of them and can follow them safely to where they're going without being seen, do so and come and tell us.
I will do that. I will. Thank you, miss. Both of you.
Yep. Okay.
Be safe, Bob. Be safe.
Yeah.
I will, miss. Thank you very much.
We need to secure this place.
And Bob scampers off out the door and disappears into the night.
Bar everything.
Yeah. Yes. I think lock and bar. And then we need to get some rest.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think it's reasonable to call proceedings to a halt for the evening.
Sounds like
That is.
for me.
So
We've got at least the inkling of a plan because we can try and talk to Hibart.
Yes.
We've got somewhere a thread we can tug on.
Yeah,
Yes, indeed.
we've definitely got more than we had.
Yeah. And it's all ramping up.
Yep. And in terms of XP, I hadn't been giving XP for the past few sessions, which is remiss of me.
I think, given there's only 2 of us here for the moment, XP, I mean...
We'll do that at the start of next time.
Probably best to give out so
Yep.
that the others don't miss out on what they've earned.
Yeah. But
That works.
you can safely say that you have achieved 2 objectives tonight.
Excellent.
Dodge blow is on the cards, Fish.
Yes, I think dodge blow may be on the cards for Brunhilde.
I need to make an intelligence check to successfully learn dodge blow, but I'm going to be bloody trying it.
Yep, that works.
Cool. We'll sort that out first thing next time.
Okay.
So
go.
who's up for next weekend?
Next weekend is me, isn't it?
So it's
Yes.
Falkenstein.
Last weekend was Fish talking cyberpunk games.
Yeah.
And next weekend is back to Castle Falkenstein.
So I get to be an Aussie for the night
Yes.
and find out what I missed last time.
You get to catch up on what you missed out on last session.
Indeed.
Which,
Good
yep.
tip. So, if you haven't watched it yet, you should watch it.
I will indeed go back and watch what I missed.
Things.
Yep.
I gather things moved on a bit.
Yes, plots are plotting, and much to the confusion of some of the people who thought they were plotting plots.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool. So until next weekend then, thank you all very much for taking the time to watch and catch up on events in Middenheim. Things here
Indeed.
are also moving forward at a
Or
pace
as it's,
now.
I think, now being renamed Niflheim. Just full of demons.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Glad you enjoyed it, Actaeon. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cool. Come back
Always fun.
for next week is a different game being run by Drut. I'll be back running this 3 weeks hence. Cool. Thank you
Right.
all very much, folks. I will see you again next week.
Good night.
Good night.